Hey guys, today is Wednesday, April 27th, 2016. It's 1 o'clock. How is everybody doing?
Good, good. How's everybody?
I'm confused because it's 9 o'clock here. Is this pre-recorded or something? What?
Yes.
Today is June the 3rd, 2014. It's not pre-recorded. It's not.
It's live. This is Twitch. We do live stuff.
Yeah,
not like you YouTubers.
Yeah.
What? All my YouTube stuff's done live at the time.
In before everybody in chat is like, is this live? No, it's all pre-recorded,
Okay.
bro. It's all
Yeah.
pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, how have you guys been?
Pretty
been
good,
exciting.
pretty good. I've been working like crazy, so just weird hours. Last week I worked every single shift. I worked mornings, afternoons, and night, and
Yeah.
overnight.
Woo!
So I'm a little out of it, but
Me and Twerk have been comparing our schedules because basically I woke up at like 5:30 every day over the last couple of weeks, and he just couldn't believe I was talking to him that early in the morning.
yeah, it was like, oh man, it was like maybe 11 p.m. Eastern time, which is just like, usually after the podcast, you're pretty exhausted getting ready for bed. Like, oh, it's
Not
late, you know?
Not so much at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't sleep much at all at the moment, and it's
Welcome
really
to
weird.
my
I
life.
we get so much done gaming wise. I mean, I'm so productive when I play games now. Get so much done.
All the games that I play when I'm awake.
Only Star Citizen had progression.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, what have you been up to over the past week?
I haven't streamed much or played much because of my work schedule, but I've really just been kind of. We touched on it a little bit last week, but I've just been thinking about games outside of Star Citizen, and I'm really hyped for some of them. I think Stellaris is about a week away, which I've been super hyped about. I've been just nonstop watching videos on No Man's Sky. Can't wait for that. Dreadnought should be out today soon, so I'm probably going to play that tomorrow. So I'm just kind of, passing the time, waiting for some cool 2.4 stuff. Yeah, like what I did this week was I would work all night. I would come home and stream in my suit. So basically the Prospector came out, so we'll discuss that at length later. And, how much I love mining. I had to pop in and talk about it with the stream. So I was dead. I worked 2 a.m. to 10 a.m., rode home, popped the stream on at 11 a.m. for like an hour and a half, and just chatted it up with the guys for a couple days. And it was really fun, and everyone loved it because I was in a suit, and they were making fun of me because I was extra fancy.
Business casual.
Yeah. Yeah, like we would have the actual stream of me in the suit showing below us, but right now Twitch is having like an issue with past broadcasts, so I couldn't show it to you guys.
Yeah,
but you can always check those out later. They're still up there, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
There's Battleborn as well. I haven't been as interested in that, but it actually does seem pretty fun.
I really enjoyed the alpha for Battleborn. The beta, closed beta. Yeah, it was really good fun. Or open beta, whatever it was. I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I never really got into Borderlands, and when I did play it, all of my friends that had it were really good at it. So I started off as a noob, and they were great. And I was just like, great. I feel shit. I'm really great about myself. Thanks, guys. But Battleborn, new IP. I think everyone starts at the same level. So
is it like Borderlands or is it?
Yes.
No, it's like a MOBA, right?
I thought it was a MOBA.
So it's two. You've got the story mode, which plays like Borderlands, individual missions. So it's like a Borderlands mission, but it's self-contained. So there's a clear start and a clear end. And there's the MOBA bit, which is the multiplayer bit. Well, I say they're both multiplayer, but there's the two teams MOBA, which plays like a MOBA, but in the same style. Yes, it's a very good game, and it's basically two games in one, as you correctly identified. The story mode is what interests me in it, though, not the MOBA.
So it's just like Star Citizen. It's two games.
Tricksy little twerk.
No, I wasn't taking shots or anything. It's like Star Citizen. There's two games in one. There's the story and there's the multiplayer.
But you don't have to buy these separately.
Oh no, which one's it?
They're both the same game. They're both included.
They're both
the MOBA Battleborn.
But how much is Battleborn?
That's a good point. A lot, probably.
Yeah,
Probably
$60.
like $60, yeah.
Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
how much both games are.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good point.
So shut your no.
Yeah,
Shut your filthy mouth. Ripping on our game now.
You been up to anything else, Twack? Been up to anything else?
The most interesting discussion that I've had on stream about in the last 3 to 4 days was about toilet paper, and that was today. And about which way the toilet paper should like which way you put it. Does it come from the bottom or does it come on the top? My chat was, I've never seen it move so fast.
And obviously it comes from the top.
I thought I come from the bottom. I'm a bottom.
A lot of people have said your chat talks shit, and now it's true.
It's official.
No, it's official.
But they said that I was all. Everybody said I was wrong.
Yeah,
Everybody
you
said
are wrong.
Top. I'm the only guy that.
You're the only person who's wrong.
So when you say from the bottom,
from behind,
you pull it from the back.
Yeah,
like it lays in the back.
What is that wrong?
People said it's wrong because it touches the wall, but I don't have anything like I have the toilet paper holder that pops out and it doesn't touch the wall.
We get into the best debates on Redacted.
Conversation.
Aren't you more likely to get splash?
Well,
if it's the other way around.
Whoa, splash! How the fuck are you splashing?
My friend Kit, she says that if you flush a toilet, with the toilet seat up,
that's why you close
particles
the toilet
of shit go everywhere, including
exactly. You also have your toothbrush and shit. That's why you close the toilet before you flush it. Does nobody do that? Are you a bunch of fucking savages? Jesus Christ!
Toilet paper is the most interesting thing ever.
We're not allowed on the Saurus's ship if we don't close the door. Like, there's shit all over my ship, all over my toothbrush.
Yeah, dude. And even on top of that, I put my toothbrush in it's like all my roommates have it in like this cup thing. I'm like, fuck that. I put it behind the mirror. Like my mirror opens and it's in there and it's
hermetically seal it in a bag.
Yeah.
Mine's in a cup thing, but my bathroom has a separate room for the toilet only.
Okay.
Like I have my bathroom and then the toilet's in a separate room and there's a door.
We've seen that on Twerk 17's cribs.
I do close the toilet when I flush, but I don't shit so large that I feel that it would get sprayed over my toothbrush.
I flush the toilet on, like, if I'm taking a shit, I flush the toilet while I'm on it. Like, you got to pre-flush your shit because it keeps the smell.
I'm sure you're on it.
Yeah.
So just wow.
You pre-flush.
This is madness.
I'm not. I
told you this is the most interesting thing
right now
that I discussed in the last 4 days, and look at what's happened.
I should have made my giveaway about this. This is great. We'll come back to this.
I wish I had a poop emoji.
Let's move on. More about Star Citizen and less about our toilet habits.
Okay, so this is something that we want to start doing. But yeah, like pre-flush, guys. Like, come on. How do you not pre-flush? You're savages if you don't pre-flush. But all right, this is something that we want to start doing a bit more on the podcast going forward. And it's discussing like guys on Redacted and what they're up to, and everything like that. So we got a couple guys in Redacted that have posted some pretty cool things. I mean, first board.
Before we get into this, do we not want to cover what Board's been up to and everything?
Yeah. That's why I just went to like first board. What do you got going on right now? Because normally, you were going to discuss what you've been up to. And one of them is a pretty sweet video from a Redacted content creator.
So what I've been up to recently, I've got my 5. Obviously, I've been playing that a bit, trying to get it working with lots of different things. It's a lot more complicated than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to get it working with stuff. Not much success yet. I mean, I'll get there. We'll be able to play Star Citizen with it soon, guys. Don't you worry. I'll get it working. But I've been doing some bits and bobs on. So I looked at all the FAQ guides and stuff, and just put a video together on all the questions there that get asked of like customer service and stuff. Because I looked on their website and I was like, well, there's no video guide for this. There's loads of questions that keep on getting asked, like where's my package UEC? And
where's my Banu Merchantman?
Why can't I downgrade my Banu Merchantman to this ship, and so I just I'll do a video on that because those questions seem to get asked loads, and they don't really seem to be addressed anywhere except for one little help section in the corner of the CIG website, which no one clicks on. Even I had to ask, is it Henry, CIG Henry Davis or Henry, whatever his name is?
CIG Henry Henry Davis.
One of the CIG guys. It was like, where is that exactly? He was talking about it in his thing, so I hadn't seen it either. But sorry, I'm rambling now. But videos wise, I've obviously done a Prospector video. I think everyone has. I mean, Prospector is the big thing at the moment. It's all about it's rekindled people's passion in mining, and as we'll talk about in a second, there's been a few other Prospector videos done by a lot of Redacted members and a lot of other content creators out there. Some of which are very good.
Yeah,
like mine. And so other than playing on the Vive and chilling out and playing some Star Citizen, not much really. I suppose we can move on. I haven't really been doing much.
Yeah, I think the last week most of us haven't been doing much. Source, you took some time off, right?
Yeah.
Feeling refreshed?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if board was done or.
Oh, my bad. Did I interrupt? I always do. I'm sorry.
The only thing I've really done that's new is I started playing Rust again.
Yeah.
And I play it about 5 hours a day. For the last week.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
It's a lot of time.
I'm jealous.
It's because I don't sleep much. It's really therapeutic. I log on. I've got 8 mates that play with me, and they're all regular. But I maintain the base throughout the day. They log on, and then we just go and blow some people up, or whatever. Assert our dominance on our server. It's actually really fun. I used to love old Rust. New Rust, when it started, I was like, oh, they've ruined it. But now that it's actually got a bit more developed, it's really fun. Really fucking fun game.
So there was a Rust before the Rust now?
Yeah, so it was basically a different game. I mean, the tenets of the game are the same, which is a survival game that you can build your base and you can work with people or murder people.
Okay.
And you do a mixture of the two. You form a group with anyone you want. You get all your mates to join the same server, and then you get resources and blueprints.
It's DayZ without zombies and building.
It's DayZ with wildlife, and it's more PvP.
Yeah,
it's group PvP basically, with flamethrowers and rocket launchers and lots of different tech, and it's very sneaky, stealthy, and base assaulty, so you're looking at the angles you can attack from and planning your strategies to attack bases in the most efficient ways, which are entirely player made. It's quite fun. I really enjoy it.
Right on.
We'll see where that goes. That game.
Yeah, I'm jealous not because of your free time, because I also don't sleep, but I haven't been able to find another game right now that I can get into. I mean, I tried with Division and stuff, but that it just wasn't happening. But yeah, I think for your work and for everybody and for me taking those days off, I think we couldn't have planned it better, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was also during PAX East, so everybody just assumed I was at PAX. Which I wasn't.
That's actually a really good idea.
I wasn't at PAX. I'm gonna try to go to PAX Prime, but I'm not. I just took some days off just because I was detoxing from caffeine, so that nobody wanted to be around me. So I took it upon myself to take the longest period of time that I've taken off since I've started streaming. I still did the podcast last week, and then on Thursday, for those of you that checked it out, we went and did a mixed reality stream at the VR studio, and so now I'll be running that every Thursday.
Nice.
So I'll be doing that tomorrow
cool.
at 11 a.m. And it's not only Northway Games. There's 4 other. I think there's a total of 4 or 5 big VR developers in one building.
Sick.
So it's like I have all of those, and it turns out I know some of the people that work there already.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be really good. Obviously, if you want to learn more about my VR stuff, exclamation point VR in chat. And I'm just sort of getting that ready. But tomorrow we'll be doing more of that mixed reality stuff. And there's some really cool stuff that they do specifically with Twitch and with Fantastic Contraption. Like different layers of things and having Twitch chat built in and stuff like that. Like stuff that they're trying to make as a standard with Steam VR. So that's really, really cool. Other than that, went to Whistler on the weekend. Got away, hung out with some friends. Yeah, shout out to Stevie. He came out. We had some drinks and dinner. Yeah. And his brother, hung out with him. And then yeah.
Woo!
Stevie's brother.
Came back on Monday. Been playing some Star Citizen.
Woo! Monday! Woo!
Mondays.
Yeah. And I mean, there's still, we're still waiting on stuff. So it's been hard trying to get people to come in and play and do stuff. But if anybody's interested in playing Star Citizen, I'm definitely down to do that. Also, I've changed my hours temporarily, possibly permanently. We're just trying it out. So now instead of 1 o'clock, which is what time the podcast is at, I'll be streaming 2 hours earlier in the morning. So 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. And then at nighttime, instead of midnight, I'll be on at 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. So that actually gives me more hours playing, but it's hopefully a lot more friendly to the viewers for the time and stuff like that. If it is something that you guys do prefer, instead of just telling me about it, show it to me. Show me that those hours work for you better by being there and coming and hanging out. If not, then I'll switch it back, because I'm not going to get up early and do all this other stuff if it's not going to make an effect and it's not going to change anything. So yeah, we'll be doing that probably for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. So I'm going to feel it out, and then we'll go from there.
Nice.
But yeah, that's sort of what, not a whole lot, just taking some time off and hanging out and looking for games that I can play outside of Star Citizen. But it's just been difficult because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm really picky with my games. So finding something that I enjoy playing, that people enjoy watching, has been a really difficult challenge for me. But yeah.
It's always hard. Yeah, it's hard to find the game that you enjoy playing that people also enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Like, I could play Ultima Online.
I played Final Fantasy 1 for the Nintendo.
Whoa. I did see that, actually.
On Monday night, and I love it, but it's just a grind fest. Like, it's the hardest one out of all of them, I'm pretty sure, and like, nobody, they're like, what is this? Right? Nintendo sounds and shit.
Yeah.
Before we get into some of the videos that we've seen this week from like our content providers and stuff, what are your guys' thoughts on Dreadnought?
I played the alpha, and I don't even know if I'm like allowed to say that, but whatever. I enjoyed it. It was really fun, and
you may or may not have played the alpha, and I
may or may not have played the alpha, and I may or may not played it for like hours on end with Proxys, and it was rage-inducing, but it was also like
addictive.
Like, Proxys got off because he was like, I can't fucking take this anymore.
Sorry, Proxys did what?
He left. He didn't play anymore.
Yeah, phrasing.
And he was like, we couldn't take it because we started getting better and we got matched up against like good people and got our butts kicked. we weren't being up on the noobs anymore. And the basically, thanks for running you over. No problem, Proxys. He stopped playing and I like kept playing myself because I wanted to learn. It's fun. It's really fun.
It's rock paper scissors, isn't it? With the types of ships.
Yeah. So like each ship has its own kind of skills and its speed, like different speeds, and they have different kind of specials that they do, and each of them kind of counteract each other, which is really cool. And I don't know, it's super fun. It's really hard to describe without people playing it, but
is it team deathmatch or is it objective based?
The only thing I played was team deathmatch.
Mhm.
But I know that they have other game modes, so. But yeah, it's super fun. I'm in the beta, so I'm just kind of waiting. I'll probably play that on stream tomorrow if everything is good.
I've grabbed a Founders Pack, and I was thinking about getting the more expensive one because I like the look of it. And it's space games, isn't it? Cool little space games.
Yeah.
As we're waiting for No Man's Sky and Star Citizen at the moment, thought,
Right.
get some games to play in between.
Yeah, so I definitely enjoyed it in the alpha, even though it was hard. But
Okay. I'll definitely check it out.
Before we go any further, I want to let everybody know that we do have an Aurora LN giveaway, and we're gonna do that right now. It's !LN in the chat. Just make sure you're following all of us on our respective things, and yeah, I'll be drawing that at the end of the podcast. And
You've reminded me, Saurus. You've reminded me on my channel every month when I remember to. I give away a ship.
When I remember.
For the month of May, because I didn't do one for April because I just kind of forgot. It kind of got lost in the post or something. For the month of May, I'm giving away a Prospector, and all you've got to do is comment on any of my videos during May that are Star Citizen based, or on the RSI forum post, which will go up at some point. I haven't actually done that yet, or on the Redacted forum post. Any of them, you'll get. It doesn't matter if you post on a million of my videos or just one of them. As long as you post somewhere on there, I'll have your name and I'll randomly number draw it from an Excel spreadsheet. And one person will win a Prospector.
So, and everybody else will
get
lose.
As many as 3 entries.
No. Just I'll give one entry. I thought about giving people up to 3 entries, but then that's mad. That's madness.
Well, like each thing is an entry, right?
Oh, I don't know.
So yeah, you have 3 entries.
Don't confuse my master plan, Twerk. Don't confuse my master plan. You have to have a Star Citizen account already, though. Make sure you've got a Star Citizen account.
Yes, yeah, because the it's not a package.
Yeah.
Or you can get it and then buy one after.
This is this is just a standalone chip. So make sure you have one of those. Bam.
Yep.
I'll draw that at the end of May, 28th of May.
Cool.
But I and Twerk and Saurus all spotted some cool little videos from some other content providers. I was really enjoying Noobifier's one, the All You Need to Know About Star Citizen one.
Yeah.
Become a Star Citizen. I can't remember his name now. That's really embarrassing. All You Need to Know to Become a Star Citizen.
So what do you need to know?
Well, it just goes through the basics in 5 minutes, which what I was trying to do in one of my tutorials, but I took 13 minutes to say it.
Yeah.
Noobify has condensed it down even further, and that's why I love him. My original mission statement when I was doing like Diablo 3 content is what he is doing now. He's doing it better than he's condensing it down in a way that I fucking love and enjoy. And I look at my videos that are quite short, and I think I should be making them shorter like him. And that's what I want to think. I love his content. So he just talks about getting started with Star Citizen, grabbing your first ship package, getting into the game, all the stuff that people that had no idea about Star Citizen would find incredibly daunting. It's one of the videos that you should watch if you're thinking about getting into Star Citizen and you're going, I don't know what this game is. I don't know how to get involved. Should I get involved now? Is it a first-person shooter? Is it a space? Whatever. It's good. It's a good solid video.
And that's kind of what Noobifier does. Is he makes all his videos are sub 5 minutes, right? Like so, he just condenses everything. He gets to the point. Whatever the video is about, that is what it's about. Boom, boom, boom. You get your information and you're done.
But that's what you want. So
exactly.
I've just become. I started to enjoy waffling on. I've started to enjoy the sound of my own voice, and that's a problem when you're a YouTuber. Yeah, it's because if you hate the sound of your own voice, it's great. You do quick videos. You do your mission statement. You get good content out. You start to like the sound of your own voice. You start making shit like me. You waffle on. Yeah. You think your opinions matter, and they don't. That's a life tip for you guys. Your opinions don't matter.
And speaking of redacted YouTubers, Grey-Headed Gamer has brought back his Star Citizen Island as well, which is pretty cool. I know he's been doing a lot of work on that.
I'm gonna throw these links.
And you know what would be cool? I don't know. He's doing this in CryEngine, right?
I haven't seen this one. This one was today, 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if the engine he's working with has built-in VR stuff already, but it would be cool if he put together built like VR stuff that you could go in and actually see what the size is like.
There is a model viewer that is built in Unity that takes all of the models from the Holo viewer.
Yeah.
And puts them into a VR engine.
Yeah.
In Unity, so I'll have a look at that.
That's Unity 5 has that all built in.
I'll talk to Gray about that later.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Saurus.
Yeah, that's something I would like to. I mean, that was something I was gonna sort of try and do myself, but then I just realized that he's doing these islands already, and have a cool little thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, would be pretty
Yeah,
neat.
that's.
But yeah, these videos are really awesome just because of the fact that you get to see the size comparisons of all the different ships and everything, and how, you know, he goes over them, and yeah, I don't know. I really these are some of my favorite videos.
I mean, this is where we found Gray. You know, this is his
jam.
His home almost, right? Yeah, like. So it's good to see him back doing this stuff. It's really exciting.
It was different for me. So when I started on Star Citizen, I was very much sort of like, let's check out the competition. Oh, this guy's got a good voice. What's his content about? Oh, it's like that's how I saw Gray, and did some news stuff. Before his Star Citizen Island, I think he was doing some news or talking about Star Citizen, talking about his hauling corp.
Yeah,
like, oh, this guy's going to be big.
Or whatever.
Yeah, Galactic Callers Guild. Yeah. He was like, this guy's going to be big because I like his voice. He's got a good voice for YouTube, and his content is unique. It just is.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. So far that's the Noobifier and Grey-Headed Gamer, two very talented YouTube creators, content creators that are
another shout out to Stevie. Stevie, woo!
Stevie, woo!
Stevie and his brother, woo!
Stevie's brother. But yeah, I mean this is something that we want to kind of start doing a little bit more is promoting other Redacted guys and what they're up to, and yeah, let us know in the comments and all that stuff what you guys think about us doing that, and if you like it and all that good stuff.
And if you guys have any questions at all, / question in chat. I know Prox has been throwing it up there, but / question in chat if you have any questions for myself, Twerk, or BoredGamer, or you know, about our channels, or
I'm BoredGamer.
Star Citizen, or why.
I mean, if you have a question for Stevie,
why?
Or Stevie's brother.
Why Twerk is wrong with his toilet paper fascination.
I have a feeling we're going to get toilet paper questions.
I think you're right, Twerk. I don't think you're wrong at all. I think you're right.
Yeah.
When you come onto my ship, the toilet paper will be right.
Perfect.
You guys are both fucking broken. Anyways, yeah. Let's just jump straight into 2.4 content and how we don't have it.
Yeah, so it's a bummer. It's definitely a bummer. I think this, like, since they've done, how many patches have we had since they said that they're going to do it monthly? 2, 3? I think 2. Well, I guess
it's basically been since the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they were like, okay, we're gonna give you a monthly patch every month, and yeah, because I guess we're at 2.4, so 2.1, yeah. And I think this is the first one that they might miss their mark for the first time, and it makes sense.
It depends on what you mean by that. I think that it's still a possibility to get it in. I think the avocado guys will still get it, and I think that if it still may come to PTU in time. I mean, it really depends. It obviously has to come this week. But if the Evocati guys got it today or even tomorrow, and then they push it out to PTU by Friday,
if the avocado guys got it or not, they might have it.
So I mean, let's make this.
I don't think so. I think we would have seen it on Reddit. Somebody would have made a throwaway account and said it.
It.
So let's make it very clear that almost always the idea of these monthly patches is that they will just give us the content they've got at the time when it hits the deadline. So they try and plan features.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they don't meet them, they still release the patch. This patch 2.4 is different because they've now confirmed that they're going to have the beginnings of persistence. So they have to wait for that, and they will definitely release that unless there is a major blocker that comes up and goes, right, we can't do persistence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine there's some major blockers already. Otherwise, we would have heard about it / seen it.
Well, yeah. I mean, a major persistent blocker. You see what I did? Fuck you. Don't laugh at my jokes.
We can laugh. Yeah, we can laugh.
Yeah, it would have to be.
We're laughing with you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm laughing at you.
Oh. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this is okay. I think we can definitely confirm that we will not have a live patch in April. That is,
yeah, no, it won't be in live for sure. 100% will not be live.
Yeah.
What's the end of April? Like Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. They may work over this weekend, but
they may throw like a really crappy PTU out there. And maybe they only throw it to the avocados if the avocados don't have it yet. And that is their, we got it out for this month. And they met their deadline. Maybe. Right? But
I don't care if they don't meet their deadlines like this. I mean, if it's...
Not for something like this.
Like something like this? No, listen, as long as something like this is in a couple ships and some little animation fixes, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. If it was delayed by a week and it was just a couple of ships...
I'm going to say this. I will say this, though. If they delay it and delay it and delay it and then are like, okay, we can't get this in this time. We can't get the persistence in. We're going to have to do it next month. And they've delayed it a bunch of times. That would
be a bummer.
That would be pretty lame.
Yeah. That would be a bummer. But I mean, that's the thing about this is they're changing things so greatly. Like, just think about how things work right now. You go, hey, I want my Super Hornet, and the game's like, here you go, have your fresh, clean, brand new, unspawned and respawned Super Hornet. Mm-hmm. Super easy. Here you go. Here are the assets. Boom, take them. Now it's like, hey, give me my Super Hornet. And they're like, okay, well, this is Twerk 17's Super Hornet. And the last time Twerk 17 played, he used this much ammo, this much fuel. He took this much damage.
And
he has this loadout.
All of those components will have their own unique IDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that will be literally your engine, your specific engine. And if you changed it to a different engine or the same engine again, it would have a different ID. It's quite a complex system. And it's not stored locally anymore. It's going to be stored all on their servers. That's a huge step for the game. Huge. It's not an arcade space sim anymore.
Yeah,
it's a game with progression. It's a game that
it will hopefully change quite a bit.
Exactly. And think about all the things that could have broken out of all those things that need to So
before we move on, and I don't want to stay on the 2.4 content too long here. It's kind of a dead horse at this point. But before we move on to the next thing, I do want to bring up something that you guys totally forgot about. And I know, Twerk, you were promoting this. And this is your Florida meetup thing that you want to do. Oh, yeah. Look on your face. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's really important that if anybody's in the Florida area, Twerk's going to be posting a link in the chat here momentarily. If you're interested in doing a Star Citizen meetup and getting signatures from Twerk 17 and kissing him on the face, he's allowing that. He's
guys, no autographs, please. No autographs until the end of the meetup.
Just wet mouth hugs. So he's gonna be doing that, and I think BoredGamer, is there something? There's like a British one where you have to. I think that one's a paid one, right?
Yeah.
Are you involved in that, or are you?
Yeah, I'm helping organise it. There's a British convention called BritainCon, which is going to be held in Manchester Airport, right by the CIG Foundry 42 offices. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping to get lots of the devs coming down and that sort of stuff. So we've been planning it for a while. It's on the 23rd of July, on the Saturday, and I will link it.
It's £20.
It's £20.
Yeah.
And it should be pretty cool. We're going to have panel. Oh, my message got deleted.
Pleb.
Oh.
It should be good. So check that out for more information. And there's only 300 places total, 225 places total, because we had to hold some for devs and for special guests. So we, I've got 225 tickets, although I'm not sure how many we've got now. They might have been sold out. I don't know. I haven't checked.
And I don't know when our next one is for Vancouver.
You just had one recently, right?
Well, we have them every 2 weeks, so I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I was
think...
like, what we were kind of thinking about was trying to do them like maybe once a quarter or 3 times a year. Because, I mean, Florida's, it's too big. Like,
yeah,
you're doing Vancouver, one city.
Yeah,
Florida's so big, it's hard for us to get together. That's what we're really struggling with,
like,
and that's why I made the post. Is we're trying to figure out where people live, and maybe splitting it into multiple.
Just do it. Just do it at the pub in the bottom of Derek Smart's building.
Yeah. I drove by it on a boat the other day.
Yeah.
Where Derek Smart lives, and I did one of these.
Did you flush your toilet as you passed by with the
Make
lid
sure
open?
the lid is open.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, that's something we're trying to figure out if we're going to have one in North Florida, one in South Florida. But we're definitely, if you're in South Florida, no matter what, Sniffle Wizard and I are definitely going to get together.
Yeah, that's
and
what
do a little something like go out to a restaurant.
That's what I was thinking. Like maybe if you did like one in, because most of the population in Florida is in the South, right?
Not necessarily. It's actually quite spread out. So like where Gray-Headed Gamer lives is like the Tampa area. That's a highly populated area. Where I live in and Brickyard, duh. But Sniffle and I have been talking a lot about it.
Why don't you guys?
Where I live is like the South Florida on the East Coast. That is a high populated area. Then there's Orlando, which is a high populated area. There's like these pockets of people.
This
in
is
Florida,
my suggestion.
And there's not.
My suggestion. Gray-Headed Gamer and Brickyard do theirs like once every month or once every 2 weeks. You do yours once every 2 months or once every week. Or once every month or whatever. Then once a quarter, you guys all you alternate. So everybody goes to the one, and then the next quarter everybody goes to the other one.
That's the thing is no, like, yes, that works. But when I say I live here, Tampa's 4 hours away. Orlando's 4 hours away.
Yeah.
So like we can't go to these.
No. I'm saying
hotels.
You do your local one. You do your local one, right? Like we do our local one. And then if we had a Seattle one or something, then once every quarter or once every 4 months or something, then you could do that, or once a year or twice a year or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
try and do one big one
because it's
kind of
it's kind of hard to get it going for your first couple ones, and just speaking from our experience in doing it, and people more and more show up, and it gets bigger and bigger every time. But you have to have that sort of.
If you just go there though, and just want to have a few drinks and have some fun, even if it's just 3 of you.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have fun, aren't you?
Yeah,
still.
Of course.
So it doesn't really matter.
That's what we're definitely looking to do down here, is do something close, local, and if somebody from farther away wants to come, by all means. But I think we'll probably start something small down here and try and build up the big one, and most likely Orlando. It makes the most sense because it's like smack dab in the middle of the state. So people from Jacksonville can come, Tampa can come, and people where I live can come. So
cool.
Right on.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man. And thanks for reminding me, Source. Totally forgot about mentioning that. Kind of a big deal. But make sure you reply to that thread with I asked you for 3 things: where you live, what days are good for you, and what your favorite ship is for shits. And some people didn't even say that they like ships. And every person that says they didn't mention a ship, I said this guy hates spaceships. I like quoted him.
Just tell them you were going to give them a free one, and then you're not going to now.
Yeah, but I'm not really going to, because they don't like spaceships. So why would I want to give you a free one?
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, but yeah, so that's cool. I'm really excited trying to organize that and getting together with people, because I know from experience hanging out with you and all the guys in Texas, that was so much fun, and to be able to get to do that local would be great. So again, thanks for reminding me. But yeah, I guess the next thing is a little bit more of 2.4 content, and this was kind of confirmed on RTV that the Reliant and Starfarer Gemini are slated to get into 2.4. We may have talked about that last week, but it's kind of like more official this week. But the big news with those 2 things is not really that they're going to be in 2.4. It's that they're going to have a price hike. So we all knew that things are going to have a price hike, but these are kind of, we know what the price hike is going to be. The Gemini's up. Go ahead.
wasn't it also possible that we don't know if they're going to be hangar ready or possibly hangar ready and flyable?
We don't know what their status is because they're okay. You kind of have to assume that the Reliant's most likely already hangar ready ish because they were talking about getting it flyable. So they haven't said one way or the other as far as I know, and I've paid pretty good attention this week on what's going on, and so it's hard to say how we're going to get them, but it seems like we're going to get them in some form or another. So at least hangar ready. But no, we don't know anything yet. So they've been quiet about it. But the Gemini's getting $100 hike.
Yep, from 240
there you
to
go.
340,
So
right?
This is what's great about having some of the CIG guys in chat. Matt Sherman's in chat and said the Reliant will just be hangar ready for 2.4. So thank you for confirming that, Matt. I appreciate it. And the flight setup's still ongoing for it. So thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate that. Still hyped. Yeah, still hyped about it. Like flyable or not, I can't wait to walk around
cool to
it.
see it.
Yeah, just it's one of those unique ships. And
do you guys have one?
I have one. I actually have an extra one that I'll probably give away when it comes out. Yeah. But the
how do I win it?
You type some things in my chat when you're in my channel.
Will do.
Pretty simple.
A lot of money.
We'll talk more about the Prospector later, but I love what they did with taking the kind of original MISC style and the Reliant MISC style, and they kind of smashed them together with the Prospector, and it came out amazing. So I can't wait to talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, so the Gemini got a hike of $100. It was $240, now it is $340, or it will be $340. And the Reliant got a $15 hike from it was originally $50 and is now $65 the next time it goes on sale. So this is going to be a trend. So if you are really excited about a ship and from the fence, enough money to get it, like just pull the trigger. I mean, I think that's kind of what they're trying to do now with maybe their market. It's sort of like another part of their marketing scheme these days is like we kind of have so many I think we're at a point where we all have so many ships, right? Where you're like, all right, I'm kind of done buying ships. Like that's I know that's where I'm at. I'm like,
I mean, there's a few more that I'm waiting on, but yeah, for the most part, it is like, okay, unless something's cool, then it's like, okay, well, maybe one of these ships that I haven't been using and I don't really see myself using, and I'll just melt that instead and get something else.
I don't know. I mean, I love them adding new ships, and I like the idea of them having a dedicated team that adds new ships, as long as it's not affecting the rest of the development of the game.
Which it does, yeah.
Yeah. So, as long as it's not affecting any more development of the game, it's never going to affect the development of Squadron 42, obviously, because the ships they were talking about now, the fifth wave ships, they're all for the persistent universe. Yeah.
Am I still all robot-y? Or are we good?
You're good now, I think.
You're good.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to stop until it was good. But yeah, so we got those two hikes, and I think it's part of their kind of marketing scheme is, well
we know
really
that everything,
buy it.
and we've said this before, and I'll say it again, is everything is going to get more expensive as time goes on, and then it just won't be available anymore.
And everything is also purchasable in-game.
Yeah, you can earn everything in-game. Yeah,
so it comes down to if you really want this at the start, and you really just want to look at it, and you really just want to say, I have it. That's what it comes down to right now.
If you're looking for your $1,000 Idris to convert into $1,000 worth of gameplay fun, you're going to be disappointed. You're paying. You might the game developed. Well, it depends. You'd have to. If you're trying to get an in-game advantage with it, let me be more specific, then you're going to be disappointed because people are going to be able to get them. People are going to be able to get them in-game. The pledges are there to help develop the game and are for people that want to back the game. You're helping everyone get a better game. You're not buying... You don't need to buy those ships at all.
No. You need to get the game package, the starter package, and that's it.
Yeah,
that is literally it. And for some people, that's going to be more enjoyable. Having the full gameplay experience, having the full toil. There's no pay to win. There's no win condition other than ones you set yourself.
And like, I don't know about you guys, but I like I bought all these ships, but I don't know if that's how I want to play the game. Like I really think I might just play the game with a very small hangar and start and build up, you know? So
well, I have that second account for that. I have a second account with just a Super Hornet on it.
Yeah, like I kind of I think more I hope people don't see people like Saurus and myself and BoredGamer where we're buying ships all the time. Like, we're buying ships all the time because we want to be able to show them to you guys, and we want to be able to enjoy that experience with you. We don't. I think if I wasn't a content creator, I would have half the ships that I have now.
I wouldn't even have half the ships. I would have had a Cutlass, and that's it.
Yeah,
I just have a Saber. Or no, maybe just an Orion. An Orion and a Saber. Oh no, I'd have all the ships.
I'd have a few. Few, but I wouldn't have as many. So, like, I hope people don't look at us and say, "Oh man, I want to do that." Like, I want to have what they have too, because
you can have that in game, and you can feel a lot more smug about yourselves because you haven't spent your hard-earned money on it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not that we're straying you away from backing the game, because of course we don't want to do that. We want the game to be as successful as possible. So if you have if you have money and you want to back the game, back the game. But just know that that's what you're doing. You're backing the game. It's not going to give you that kind of advantage. I think we've all played the game plenty to see that there's somebody in an Aurora who can kick the shit out of all three of us, and the guy who has 14 Idrises might not have any clue on how to fly in the game at all, and might be terrible at it. You know, so the way that they design the game is it's skill based, right? So it doesn't matter what ship you have if you don't know how to use it. So
and you could jump in as a gunner or a pilot on a javelin, even if you don't own it either, as well.
Yep.
So, I mean, just because you own a javelin crew, and I love this idea of Star Citizen. I love the idea of the ship sales as well, which are just purely voluntary people back in the game. I'm getting excited about Star Citizen again. About ships, man. Like Idris. Oh my god, the Idris. What are we talking about? What's going on?
Yeah.
The Idris.
Now, who's fucking hyped for tomorrow? Is anyone hyped for tomorrow? I'm hyped for tomorrow.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, but I mean, to be honest, we've seen a lot of it already. I'm hoping that it'll be more polished, right? So
yeah, dude. So the Drake Herald is going to be in the ship shape portion of ATV tomorrow, and not only that, but it's going to be there with Josh Coombs, who's like the chillest, coolest guy ever that we met in Texas. Sorry, Zylo, you're close second, but Josh and Chris were super awesome. Like, I think it's going to be a really, really cool, a cool segment because of the ship that it is, and because of the guys. Like, I feel like Josh just like tells it like it is, and we'll hear a lot of cool things about it, and I can't wait. So I think the interior, they said, will be the focus. Like, we've seen a lot of the outside, we've seen a little bit of the inside, but definitely the inside that we saw wasn't polished, right? We saw it was just squares that said power plant.
And I mean, we saw the concept art of the screens and everything that they wanted to do, and the component systems and stuff like that. So
yeah, and for those of you that don't know what the Drake Herald is, it's the information running ship for Drake, and it will also probably have some E-War components to it, and it's a very unique ship.
I think it's the first concept ship that I bought.
It was the first ship with LTI that I bought. I know that. So it's just, out of all the ships that they've concepted and everything, I think, like, do you get the sense that this is like the most kind of interesting, unique one, where it's just so different from all the other ones? And
the Herald,
I don't know. It excites me.
I mean, so I'd say some of the alien ships are probably more different, like the Jan Scout and stuff like that. The Herald certainly fulfills a unique role.
Yeah, I think the role is more interesting.
That's what I meant. But
the Xi'an, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, the Xi'an's a cool looking ship, but it's sort of.
I don't see the role for it yet.
So Yeah, it's because the role of scout
It's
doesn't
not
interest
doesn't
us.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not there at the moment, really.
Yeah.
But the Herald, I'm really interested to see what they've done with it, because, I mean, it could go either way, couldn't it? If they've done it well, it's going to be amazing. People are going to go, "Oh my god, it's beautifully ugly," whatever. But if they, something like the Herald's really hard to please people with.
But that's
Isn't
the thing is that's what they do well, though. They do ships really friggin' well, right?
They do.
I think the only hiccup that they've had so far is the Cutlass. And yeah, people are bummed out about it, but it's not done yet.
Cutlass.
Sorry, I'm bringing the Bible thumps and the salt and all that stuff about the Cutlass back. But I think that's the only hiccup that they've had so far as the community is concerned. I think everyone, like, this is what they do well, is ships. So I can't imagine that it would disappoint. And just so you guys know, if you missed it in the chat, again, Matt Sherman dropping all the knowledge. It's still going to be in white box that we're looking at. That's what we'll see. But he says it's definitely shaping up really nicely. So pretty cool.
Cool. Excited about that.
Yeah. And then this is one thing that I thought we would kind of mention is the Caterpillar. So we've been mentioning it for a few months now that they're working on it. This will probably be the last time that we mention that they're working on the Caterpillar, because they mention it on their weekly news every week.
Well, I mean, they had some recent screenshots and stuff, and if they have those, we'll show those to you guys. But...
Exactly. So until they give us like updates like that, with screens and all that stuff, we'll probably kind of leave it alone for now in our like little news section of the podcast.
I feel like it's fairly close, though.
I do. I mean, it's all concept art. They're just concepting out the inside. So I feel like they have to concept it and then make it, but
it's because it's for such an important role in Star Citizen, which is the outlaw
and for
role.
Drake. Yeah, it's just it's an important role. Like
it's their like flagship.
Yeah, I think it's exactly, and I think it's how they're going to figure out how to fix the Cutlass, and how things are, like the rework of the Cutlass is going to come after they kind of figure out Drake, how they want Drake, So,
yeah, because so with the Buccaneer, are we going to talk about this later?
We can talk about it now.
Buccaneer.
No, we can talk about it now.
So with the Buccaneer, I'm worried they're going to make it's going to be Drake, obviously, but I'm worried they're going to make it look too curvy or too high tech, and I don't want that from Drake ships.
Well, I think they have their style guide locked down for Drake.
Here we go, Matt in the chat again. And even some of the initial thoughts and ideas we had on the Buccaneer have changed from what was detailed in the reference images thread. So,
okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I'm worried they're going to make it too like an interceptor. Because I know it's supposed to be an interceptor, but I don't want it angular, like pointed. I don't want it to be like an arrow.
Remember, Drake. It's going to be.
Yeah, I really like the industrial feel of Drake. That's one of the reasons I like them so much, is because they are ugly. Because they are. It's the same reason I like the VFG industrial hangar, is because they are ships that feel like they're, they have a purpose, and that's it, and it's like,
well, Thriftbot approves of Drake because they do their role. They do their role as efficiently and as cheaply as possible, and I feel like I could repair them just with a screwdriver.
And confirmed, it's not
curvy at all.
Curvy.
He said it's not curvy at all. Don't worry about underserving sexiness to the shape. There you go. So we're good. We're good.
It's got sex appeal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Drake, man. It'll be fine.
Matt, if you can do me and Saurus a big favor, okay, make Chris.
Here he comes.
Make Chris a Drake Corvette.
Yep.
I
bet you were gonna ask for free ships.
I don't know, man. The Caterpillar is pretty big. The Caterpillar is pretty big.
Oh yeah. So
it's huge.
Okay, if it's gonna fulfill my Corvette needs, then I will buy.
I think it will, dude. Like I feel like the Caterpillar is.
That's why I sort of laid off that, is because after I saw some of the size comparisons.
Yeah. Oh, I think you sated my hunger for a Drake Corvette by saying that the Caterpillar was going to be huge last time we looked at it, Saurus.
Yeah.
But I've since forgotten.
Yeah, just remember it's going to be longer than the Starfarer.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was really big and had the detachable module.
Think about that.
And remember, it's 2 stories high in the main body, and then the other one is sort of still up a little bit.
I suppose
off to the side.
The idea, if you want a bigger one, you buy 2 and stick them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the evil
So-
twin of the Starfarer now, right?
It's no,
And not so
yeah,
much
instead of the freelancer. Like I think the original sale, it was supposed to be the evil twin of the freelancer, and now it's taken a whole new shape because who's working on it? Is it the UK office or is this the Drake is LA only, right? So this is another thing where it's like one of the first ships that we're seeing from LA in a while that they've worked like solely on. Right, because Drake's been LA. We've seen a lot of stuff from the UK lately and stuff like that. So let's see what LA can do. I'm looking forward to it. But I think this is a good segue into something that was talked about on RTV, where they mentioned the next kind of concept ship being a pirate ship. Now,
yeah.
I mean, is it like?
Pirates.
But they didn't say like. They would probably just say, well, it's the Buccaneer. If it was the Buccaneer, right? I feel like
they would say it was the Dragonfly if it was the Dragonfly.
Or yeah, exactly. So
It's got to be the Buccaneer, man. Surely.
It's got to be the Buccaneer though, because they said the Dragonfly. Well, the Dragonfly is
They say
small though, and would be able to be pumped out a little bit quicker. I would think.
They wouldn't refer to that as a pirate though. They would refer to that as a motorbike.
No, I think all the Drake ships are pirate.
Yeah, but they would refer to it as a motorbike over the pirate interceptor. I mean, it's
Is that what they call it? Is that what they said it was? The Pirate Interceptor? Or did they say
pirate interceptor. It's the Buccaneer. I mean, it's literally called the Pirate Interceptor. In the
Okay.
In the,
Well,
concept
then,
stuff.
yeah, if that's the thing, then it's not even a question. It would be the Buccaneer and not the Dragonfly.
It's not even a question. Come on, Matt Sherman, tell us all the answers. When's Squadron 42
Who's
and
right?
Star Citizen going to be
yeah,
out?
when do I get my?
When can we fly our javelins around?
Yeah, no, but I think that's kind of an exciting thing because I think they know that piracy is it's going to have a role as right away. Like it already has a role in Crusader, and I think as they put things in, it's going to have a bigger and bigger role as we go along and as we get more content. So
It's not necessarily piracy though. It's not just piracy.
Yeah.
For me, it's outlaws. Now, outlaws aren't necessarily pirates or even PvPers. I mean, there's going to be a variety of things that people are going to be PvE outlaws, or that they've murdered a player like unintentionally and are outlawed, stuff like that. So that there is going to be gameplay for outlaws that isn't just piracy. And Drake are very good for that kind of role in general.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, and like I think that's why they're probably going with that next. I think it's a good direction to go in, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I don't plan on playing the outlaw role. You never know, I might play something like smuggling in the future, and that might be the seediest that I get. But I don't know. I think it's so important to have the balance, and I just like, I don't know. I'm like everybody else here. I like to see the spaceships and how they design them. I think out of all of the kind of openness of the development of Star Citizen, the thing that's always appealed to me is how they build the landing zones and the ships and the guns and stuff like that. I unfortunately am not. I don't think I'm smart enough to appreciate things like. Yeah, like hey,
Wow.
gotta be honest with yourself
You've
sometimes.
been
guys.
listening to your chat too much, Twerk.
Yeah,
That's what that
I don't know.
is.
I can't appreciate the things like bug smashers and sometimes like design discussions and stuff like that. They're a little bit over my head and how things work, but I can always appreciate the visual aspects and how they've changed from the beginning till now and how they're working on them and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But it's just cool that we're gonna get something piracy. So I figured Saurus would be pumped, and maybe there might be something else in our minds that it could be, because they didn't mention the specific ship, and you would think that they would mention a specific ship, right? Because we've heard about it, the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be the Buccaneer, and I mean, the other thing I hope is that they get that jail soon, because I just want to be putting Saurus in jail as much as I can, man. And he's going to be avoiding that and murdering people to try and stay away from that. It's going to be beautiful. That's going to be some proper gameplay. Proper game, baby. Proper gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, there's. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the jail stuff and all of that as well. There's some other things that I think that could be worked on that would make the whole thing more enjoyable as well. But I know that is coming as it is, right? Like, getting shot, unloading a whole magazine of rounds into somebody and then getting shot twice with a pistol and then dying and then running away is kind of, yeah. But I know that stuff will be balanced out later on. It will be cool to add the new stuff in and to have all of the things like spawning in a jail cell or being able to go check out different landing zones and all of that other stuff is going to be really awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's it's gonna make it feel like it feels somewhat alive, but it's gonna make it feel alive when there's sides and there's
And
yeah, that's what it is.
I have another reminder for everybody. Number one, if you have any questions for us, ! Question in chat. If you have any questions
definitely coming
about
up to
Star
that.
Citizen or questions for BoredGamer, Twerk, and myself. And we also have an Aurora LN standalone ship giveaway happening right now. ! LN. Just make sure you're following all of us on our content creator channels. Myself and Twerk on Twitch and BoredGamer on the YouTubes. And we'll be drawing that at the end of the podcast. We also have this Around the Verse sneak peek that I have ready to go here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
So this is the stuff that's kind of a little bit over my head, right? But they kind of showed how the AI perceives everything around it. So each line represents a different thing, and what it's hearing and what it's seeing, and those AI are actually following you, the character, around, and they could have been shooting at you, but they turned their guns off. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to see that they're coming along with the AI and they're able to follow. And
like audio cues and stuff like that. Exactly.
So I find it like, okay, well, we're probably pretty damn close here to seeing some of these guys running around in the verse, and maybe the blocker for them getting in is kind of
that would add so much more excitement to Korea or any FPS thing right now, instead of waiting for people and not knowing if somebody's real or like a real person or an NPC,
right? Or teaming up on one side versus the other. You like, okay, well, I'm going to play with the security side, or I'm gonna, right? So good. Like, I don't know if that's a planned thing. We're just speculating about that, but that would be really cool if it was. But
well, I imagine it would be similar to your security stuff, right? Like if it's
could be, yeah.
If it's something,
and apparently this was on RTV. They mentioned that this is a gas station. So like this is an asset of a gas station that'll be somewhere out in the universe somewhere. So
they talked about that on ATV.
Yeah.
As well, and yeah, 1 second, carry on.
No, go ahead. Because I don't know much else about it.
I'm going to try and find out more information about it while you talk.
On RTV, that I think Xylo mentioned what it was. I just can't remember.
Is this open to the universe? I can't really tell. It looks like it's open to the universe.
If you look out in the distance, you can see like an asteroid out there.
Yeah.
It seems to be open. Yeah, like you'll see stars in the distance as well. It almost looks like it's on the Nyx map.
Science and gas stations being made for the Odin system.
Yeah, and that's likely what this is.
Oh yeah, this looks like it's planet side. Or like asteroid side at least, or something.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, it was created with Vegas Pro 12.
Yeah, Vegas Pro 12. Yeah, the professional version.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, but
I don't know. Maybe there's an official sponsor we don't know about. That, or they don't know how to remove watermarks. One of the two.
The thing for me is it shows that this stuff is functional. Mm-hmm. But maybe what's keeping it from going in is kind of the client to server things, and maybe it doesn't function that way. But the AI seem to be moving around and reacting, and I think we're probably closer than we think for maybe seeing some AI in ArcCorp or seeing them somewhere around the universe.
Is this Frankfurt that are working mainly on this?
Yes, Frankfurt's like AI heavy.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they're a lot further ahead of a lot of stuff that they talk about there. Mm-hmm. I always get the sense from Brian Chambers that he's not allowed to say stuff because it will show their hand too much with the progress they've made.
Possibly.
But I mean, maybe that's me just being a dreamer.
Yeah, I mean, and they're making weapons like left and right, so hopefully we'll see some new weapons whenever we get 2.4. That those are for that. I haven't heard any information on that other than they've finished weapons. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on there. But I'm pretty pumped about seeing this. This was actually something that was really exciting for me. Was that it feels closer than it is than they made it feel maybe by what they were saying. So
and then when you throw in like the different gadget uses and the cover systems and EVA and stuff like that,
it just builds from there, right?
It builds up. It does get more complex, but it does get.
And I'm not even thinking of it from the PvP or PvE side. I'm also thinking of it from, well, that bartender can hear when I walk through the door when I ask him for a drink, and things like that. Because I think it all goes hand in hand, which should be pretty neat.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the tech is pretty amazing. So we've seen that, like, some of the face tech, and we've seen that they've got reactive pupils, and they've got the head and eye tracking. So yeah, as you said, with like a bartender, if they have a bartender that notices you come in and is able to make eye contact with you, can you imagine how amazing that would be for VR?
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that tech's there. I just don't know how implemented it's going to be, because obviously they need to make it scalable and workable on a multitude of systems. So I mean, it's exciting though, just fantasizing a little bit about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean that, and still to this day, that's the best part about Star Citizen right now, is the dreaming, the daydreaming.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I had something in my head that I was going to discuss earlier, but I cannot remember. Oh, we were talking about Crusader a little bit. Now on 10 for the Chairman, this was Chris mentioning this, and this is totally different from what everybody's been saying so far. He mentioned that we were going to get the shops in Crusader on the first iteration, and that's been totally counterintuitive to what everyone's been saying up to this point, which I thought was interesting.
I thought they've always been coming into Olisar. I think that was
the plan, but it sounded like they were going to be done for 2.4, and he kind of was like, oh, for the first release of shopping, we'll have a few little small shops for you in Port Olisar, when they were kind of always saying like, oh, it's in. We're working on it, but they didn't make it seem like it's going to be in the release. So
well, I thought
that was the first time that they kind of said it.
Yeah, like at first we thought it was going to be with Nyx, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't know, like, that's so weird. Like, what happened with that? I
really
wonder.
Well,
we've got to take some of what Chris says with a pinch of salt, in the fact that he sees the schedule, he knows when it's supposed to be ready, but he might not 100% be aware of all of the issues and problems that are on that particular project when he answers it.
But I still think that it makes more sense. We're good to see it in Olisar rather than anywhere else. We also know that the back area of Area 18, called the Galleria, will not stay in that construction mode that it's in now. It'll build out, I think, before the game releases, because they sort of mentioned that. But
with some of the stuff in Star Citizen that's obviously literally exclusive to the alpha, like the Galleria, for example, that's effectively exclusive to the alpha, because once it's built, it's built. So do you think that some people are going to wish they had got in with the alpha and played it? Or do you think people are just going to not care because the full game's awesome? Or do you think there's... For people that want to just play the game and want to experience the game, do you think that it's worth them getting the alpha as well to experience more stuff? Or do you think they should wait for more gameplay in the actual persistent universe? I'm talking about people that aren't really into the development, but are into the actual gameplay of the... What do you think?
I have two answers for this. One is the answer for my viewers specifically. I want everybody to be playing, right? But my other answers are realistic. If I wasn't a streamer, I probably wouldn't be playing this except for patches. I mean, that's there's it's very easy to get burnt out on something like this, and it would be unfortunate if the majority of the community was burnt out before the game came out.
Yeah, I mean, I think a part of that with your answer is that Star Citizen doesn't have progression yet, but that we need as streamers.
Yeah,
as
and even when progression comes in, we're gonna have to wait and see to see how much that actually changes, and to see how much that actually changes the amount of people that are playing and stuff like that. Because you even if you have a full game there, if you don't have any players, then it's really still not a game. So it's it'll be interesting to see when it comes in, and if it is more playable and it is something that people can start doing more. Like, obviously there are early access titles out there that people play as if they were a full game because it is possible, you know, and they're not I'm not even talking about streamers, because I don't think there's a small percentage of people that are not streamers that are playing this, or content creators. Whereas you look at something, say, for a good example would be Ark, right? That is still in early access, or has been in early access for a while, or H1Z1 or whatever. People play the shit out of that game, right? Because there's a lot more stuff to do. It's a lot more fleshed out and everything, and there's persistence and all of that stuff.
Rust is the same.
Yeah, Rust is the same. DayZ is the same. All kinds of these games are the same, and they have a much larger player base than what we are seeing right now. I think Star Citizen has the potential to have a large player base. We know the numbers of the backers that we have. Mm-hmm. I don't think we even have 1% of that playing. Just going by my own personal experience on a regular basis. When we get patches and stuff like that, obviously it ramps up quite a bit. But right now,
that's exactly the right though, because the thing with Star Citizen, because there's no progression at the moment, you can play everything in 5 hours and then you're done.
Yeah.
Yep. All those games, the common thing that they have is there's a goal that you're trying to earn, because there's earning that can happen.
There's earning.
Whereas the only earning that we really had was rec, and you get to a point where you earn so much rec that you don't have anything to spend it on anymore. So I think this patch is the beginning of the beginning.
I'm really
it's the beginning.
I have a question for you guys, and this is sort of branching off of that and going into the persistence and earning things, more specifically earning ships. And it's kind of a when question. I'm trying to think of it how not to be a when question, but do you see them making it so you can earn ships in game permanently, not rec? By permanently, I mean even like if they wipe it, then they wipe the ships and whatever. But I mean permanently while you're playing it, without a set time limit before beta. Do you think that's going to happen?
I see Alpha UBC about to purchase ships.
Absolutely, and I think it would be well before beta, and in the next
so that was my next thing is how soon do you think that'll be? Because I feel like once they have their persistence in, once they have the shopping stuff in and everything, that's sort of the next. That's the next thing. But I'm also a little concerned that they've relied on selling ships as their sort of cash cow, and I think that earning them in game, while that is the game and everything, they would lose a lot of their income.
I don't
think they would. I mean, most of the money they make is from concept ships, which you wouldn't be able to earn in game anyway, straight away.
Not only that, but the ships that would be purchasable in game at the moment would not be, would be only the ships that are purchasable,
that are accessible in the game,
at the time.
Right.
And so the ships like the Delta, the ships like I don't know, some 350R and things that aren't 100% viable at all times. Exactly. You wouldn't be buying those. You would be buying your 300s, your regular Hornets, not your Super Hornet, and stuff like that. So that I think that's how they'll still continue to sell ships while bringing this gameplay in and having it be gameplay. So.
I mean, I think it could be. I mean, they could have some sort of super early alpha UEC implementation, and call me a dreamer, with 2.4, but I think it's more likely for 2.5.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not even...
It is 100% in 2.4, like they've been saying it. It's in.
Oh, we actually think it's in?
It's not we think. They've been saying, it's in, man.
Yeah. Because that's the whole point of 2.4. That's the whole point of the persistence and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't call me a dreamer. Call me...
BoredGamer.
I don't know. Call me BoredGamer. Thanks.
At least
something else.
At least that's what they're they're making it seem like is, oh yeah, I mean, there's going to be shopping in 2.4. Well, if they're shopping in 2.4, there's got to be money to buy the things, right? So it's in, dude. It's got to be. There's no way. There's no way it's not. But I don't know. Just hitting on another kind of thing that we like, because I guess we're kind of discussing of what we'd like to see and stuff like that. Chris talked about some communication stuff that I thought was really, really interesting, and definitely interesting for a guy like you, Saurus, and other people that run orgs. We're going to be able to chat with our friends from our phones. Like, they can be in game and we can be on our phone.
And that's sort of the stuff that I'm looking
at a concert.
To.
Yeah, and we can like, oh shit, dude, like I just got raided by, I don't know, like I'm just thinking of the first org that comes to mind, Test Squadron. I got raided at Test Squadron at this asteroid field. Like, help, and like you send an org-wide message out. And
that's
like,
why it's good for
Source
the hardcore
is out at the bar
guys.
with his friends. Yeah, and like Source is out at the bar with his friends, and he's like, I'll be back. And then he goes and fucking everybody gets together and then, you know, they fight. Then there's this big battle and then he comes back to the bar.
Well, no, I can stream it to my tablet, man. That's the whole reason I have that tablet. Because I've already done it. I can play that Star Citizen away from home.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. If you can use your Mobi-Glass on a tablet.
Yeah.
When you're not at your computer. Oh my fucking god.
So like I was just
I can play the game
away
from my computer as well, but with your tablet or your phone, you'll have your Mobi-Glass.
No. I don't think you guys understand that. So okay. If you can play it on your tablet or your phone, if you have some form of game functionality where you can do management and make money, then that breaks the market for the Russians and the Asian market that might have lower spec computers. It's because they have a huge population with a lot lower spec computers in general per.
I don't know about make money, but manage your account I think you can do. You'll be able to.
If it has lots of functionality, if you can give orders, if it has enough functionality, then I think it will enable people with crappier computers to play.
Well, what I'm talking about is because of my tablet that I have, the specific one that I have, it allows me to stream my games that are on my PC to my tablet using my PC's power over the internet.
Yeah.
So I can play Star Citizen on my tablet with 980 Ti i7 32 gig specs on my tablet away from home as long as I have a good internet connection.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that everybody's going to be able to do that.
And what I'm discussing is strictly communication. So like as an org leader or as somebody that's like getting ready to leave work and wants to see what their friends are doing, so they, you know, you don't have pop on your computer and say, oh, what's up, guys? You can do that on your way home or whatever. It's strictly just text communication where you're like, yo, what's up, Source? What are you up to? Oh, you know, I'm just chilling in this system doing this. It's like, all right, I'll meet you there when I get home. Like that's great, but this is what Chris has discussed is what's coming. So you can dream all you want. But I don't hear anybody at Star System talking about developing an app at the moment. They're just talking about.
Well, there was a stretch goal for them to do that, so that will come eventually.
Eventually, but not all the stretch goals are coming at release of the game either. And out of most of them, I think that would be one that wouldn't, right? So I could just see it. I can just see you like what Sunday of Doom is saying in chat, like setting battle plans for your orgs and mission plans and managing your cargo or setting up a loadout for when you get home because you know your org while you were at work was planning a raid or planning a mining mission or an exploration mission. Like you can set everything up before you get there. I can see that being a thing. But yeah, and I would assume that would be the Mobi-Glass that you're talking about, Bored. But I just don't know when. I think, but this chat thing is coming sooner than later because it's integrated with the website and all that stuff. They're making all sorts of changes with that. But
you think we would get VoIP with it? Not at the same time, but do you think it will be VoIP capable as well, where you can talk to people in game?
I don't know. That would be cool though. I think that would be great. You know, but I don't know. We need VoIP in game so fucking bad.
You're gonna be able to talk to me when I'm in a urinal at the pub again, Saurus.
Exactly.
You're gonna be able to play, and I'll be able to do that. It's gonna be so immersive.
Like I would take. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? I would take voice over IP right now over persistence, over alpha UEC, over Nix, over any changes in ArcCorp, over any new ships, over any new content. I would take voice over IP in game over any of those things.
Over everything except for persistence. Yeah. I'm too hyped for persistence, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think it's so.
I think it's too important. I think
when you said
persistence
that,
is too important.
When you said that, my heart, for some reason, I'm a bit delicate as a person at the moment. My heart jumped, like kind of sunk in my chest because, like, for some reason, I thought you were the decision maker.
I make all the decision. Little did you guys know, I'm actually Chris Roberts, and Chris Roberts is really just Torque 17. You guys never knew. Yeah, you never knew.
You can tell. You can tell by the
he is
that one mark on his neck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For the Harry Potter scar. Yeah.
The Harry Potter scar.
That one went over my head. I don't get it. But yeah, I don't know. We're kind of getting a little late on time, so we got to go into this. We've waited till the end. I know how excited I am. BoredGamer super excited. Saurus, not so much.
Don't really
care. I bought
care.
a new ship, guys. I bought a new ship.
I bought a new ship, the Misk Prospector.
Yeah.
The Misk Prospector. Again, we've talked about it for a couple of weeks now. It was $140. I think for a starter ship. That's a little pricey, but I wouldn't call it a starter. I think it's just the smallest mining ship, and I actually think it was priced quite well, in my opinion.
I mean, it's the size of a freelancer. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. And the freelancer's around $100. Plus, it's a way cooler looking freelancer, and
it's specific.
It does way cooler things.
It kind of looks.
So
yeah, it looks like. I mean, it's Misk, so.
Yeah, it's like, here's what I love about it. This is what I love about it. It is a freelancer with a Reliant style cockpit. So, like, one of the things that's kind of tough to deal with, like, I like the look of the freelancer's cockpit. It feels trucky to me. It feels right. But this cockpit is, it's awesome. It's perfect for what you want to do. You want to be able to see down and while you're mining and all that stuff. And I think it was just so well thought out, so well designed. So props to all the people that worked on this. I don't think that they discussed with us who did the concept art for this. I think we usually hear Gurmak was the one that did this. Like, they never really told us who did the concept for this. There's well done.
There's two ships that I would have bought without seeing the art for.
This one.
So purely based on their description, yes, this is one of them because it talked about planetary mining. It talked about loads of stuff. It compared itself to the Orion in the ways that I wanted it to, and it went, this suits a different role for mining. So I've been able to justify it to my brain because I'm going to be running an economy and industry heavy Star Citizen channel. Yeah, exactly. And it's a modular mining ship effectively because it's got the detachable pods that you can just. It's really flexible in the fact that you can work by yourself or you can work as a big group. Like, I know you could say that with other things, but there's a lot of flexibility there. You can have haulers picking up your.
Now those pods, I believe, are those are going to be specifically designed for cargo units for being able to be transported as their separate pods, right? So in a freelancer or in Starfare or in a Hull series or whatever. Just looking at them, they're very, very straightforward. So it's like if you want to do it just by yourself. Yeah, you could do it, and you could haul it yourself and carry it over and unload it and sell it. Or you could have a ship waiting nearby, or a couple like freighter ships waiting nearby. That you mine, you drop it off at the freighter ship. You mine, you drop it off. It's like right there, And then once the freighter ship is full, it takes off, and then another one's there, and then you fill it up, and then they go, and you just have that mining operation like that.
And they totally designed it for they totally designed it for that. So if you like went back to those kind of drawn pictures with the pods, they have your first pod, it fills up, it pops out, it goes into a cargo ship, and then the second pod actually accordions down to create the next one.
Yeah.
Which is really awesome. So
you can have multiple on there.
That's the whole point of it, is to mine, hand it off, mine, hand it off, but you only it only comes with 8 total. So you have 2 in each
one.
canister section.
So is it 8 total or is it 12 total? Because it says 8 spares.
Did it say 8 spares?
It says 8 spares.
There's 1 spare per.
So it says 8 spares, but I'm not sure if that means 8 total.
8 spares would mean 12 total.
I think that would be a lot. 8 spares would be...
It does make a lot.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit much. But I'm thinking, in my opinion, I think it's 8 total. And, you drop off to the guy. He drops off. He comes back with the empties. And you kind of rinse and repeat.
The way that you and Saurus have described that is literally my idea of heaven in gameplay.
Me too.
It's the efficiency of the whole operation. And this ship really strikes me as it's so versatile and the potential to be so efficient. The problem I have with the Orion is it's getting a crew together that all need to be efficient working together.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it all yourself.
Well, this is what you have to do, and you have to
be
do that as well,
ultra efficient with this. You would need to have a crew as well, but they would be manning different ships.
Yeah, they would be doing different things. You wouldn't be all on the same ship.
Yeah, what I mean is, you could run.
You could do this yourself, solo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually like every time I look more at the ship, the more I'm hyped about it. I love. Okay, now one of the coolest things that that I love the design of and love the thought process of is the mining laser that has the tractor beam in it. So you literally just mine the stuff and it vacuums up the.
I thought that was an interesting choice because I would have thought that they would have had
I think it makes it too easy.
Yeah, I think they would have had 2 separate things. I think they should have had a mining laser and then 2 tractor beams on either side. And have those as their different hard points. I think it dilutes the point of having tractor beams and different ones that will be coming in later on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It is concept, so we might see a change. They might go, hang on, this doesn't work as intended or whatever. So we might see stuff move around like that. Well, because I'm interested to see how that works. Because obviously it has to do both planetary mining and asteroid mining, which are different because one have gravity and one have less.
Right.
What's so funny about this? I don't know if you guys have ever watched, like on the Discovery Channel, those stupid gold digging TV shows.
Yeah.
They're Gold Rush. They're addicting, man. They're addicting to watch, and they're pretty interesting. I think whoever designed this thing watched Gold Rush because
I think
it literally is a wash plant. Like you bring the stuff through it, it goes through it organizes the rocks and the rocks that you want go here and the rocks that you don't want are the tailings and they go out the back, just like a wash plant on that show. And I just I kind of see that in my mind every time I see the ship and the design of it, which is really kind of funny. And then here's the thing that Matt Sherman just typed in the chat. Again, thank you so much, Matt, for all this. Sweet,
Matt, you're an absolute legend. Come on the podcast more often, bro. Actually, appear as a guest. Come on,
if you ever want, come on. But he says it doesn't fully dilute tractor beams since the mass / size of the objects the mining laser can pull in would be very different from a tractor beam made to pull in a loose cargo crate. I don't see. This is the stuff where I'm not smart enough for these things. I don't quite understand. I guess tractor beams are meant to pull in larger objects, whereas it breaks it down into like little pebbles, so it's able to vacuum it up. So it's a little different. But
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's pretty awesome.
But also note that this ship has no weapons, 0.
No, it does. So if you can look at
size ones on the nose,
the fixed mount.
Yeah, there. If you look at the pictures, keep going through the pictures, you'll see them.
Okay.
Right on the sides of the mining laser are 2 size 1 guns.
Well, then why is there only a spot for 1 size 1? This says right on the nose.
Because Star Citizen stats are Star Citizen stats.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I thought that was for the mining laser itself.
So I thought
that's what I understood.
The tractor beam mining laser, but that would mean that you could technically put weapons there if you wanted.
You'd be able to replace it with a weapon if you wanted to.
Yeah, whereas the other one's not really a mount.
Yeah, because we know that mining lasers and stuff like that are going to be like a component, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
I mean, that would make sense. It's a fixed mount for components. It's just like we have for the tractor beams. They take a mount spot of a weapon.
Yeah.
I think we'll see.
And there's nothing under additional equipment for what the mining laser is.
Well, if we wait until the Q&A, so by end of Friday, I think we'll know.
Today is a Q&A.
There's Q&A today, and there's actually we'll probably get it today. That answer, because I'm sure a lot of people
It might even be up. I'll go take a peek at the.
Take a peek, Twerk.
Take a peek. I'll take a peek at the website and see if the Q&A is up.
A sneaky little peek, a cheeky Nando's. What?
Mm-hmm. I don't see anything yet, but I think the first one should be up today.
Okay, yeah. More on that later.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, Miss Prospector QA is tomorrow. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And then tomorrow and Saturday. That's the on the Comlink events thing. So
and we also have
this,
the calling all aspiring miners.
Yes. Now, this is pretty awesome. So, it kind of goes into, obviously now after the Big Benny's thing, I want to click on everything. So I clicked on it right away and I read it and I thought it was pretty cool. And I think I didn't know what it was. I had no idea about what you can potentially get out of it. So I did all this research and I was like, I want to write something cool here and show it to the stream. And I did my research on the lore about each system and I wrote my thing in. And then I find out on RTV that they're going to choose the 5 best applications and give you guys an Orion, which an Orion was a $325 ship at concept. and we're talking about these ships getting not only larger but more expensive each time. Mm-hmm. They're going to give away 5 of the end game mining ships, which are going to be awesome for the best kind of applications. Now, my assumption would be that they've probably chosen theirs already. So if you haven't quite figured it out yet, I don't know if we would if you made a new one today, if they'd see it.
I'd still say give it a go just in case.
Just for fun and for fun. Now, I wish I could have shown you guys this at the beginning of the podcast today. I hung out and asked everybody in my chat to share their links with me. Mm-hmm. And I read them all on the stream. And it went from super serious to like ultra trolly. And the best one that I got was actually a Nigerian prince spam one. It was hilarious. I was dying. I think that one was from Travin72, and there were some other like extremely trolly ones that I thought were really funny. And it all actually stemmed from one of Disco Lando's tweets where he was going through the posts that people made, and Ben Lesnick wrote like "I am a cat" or something like that there just to troll him because he knew he was reading through it. So I think everyone had a really good time with that. It was super fun to read those and see people's creativity, and I also did my best to help people with their grammar and stuff like that, because not everybody that watches my stream, their first language is English. So kind of tried to help them and hope that they can get an Orion. But after I saw what some of the guys that watched the stream did, I have no chance of getting another Orion. So.
I just want to remind everybody once again that we are taking questions, ! Question in chat. If you have a question for myself, Twerk, or BoredGamer about the podcast, our citizen, our channels, what's going on in our lives, etc., why Twerk is a savage and uses toilet paper backwards and wrong. And we are also giving away, courtesy of Twerk17, an Aurora LN standalone ship. Make sure that you're following everybody's respective content creator channels. Twitch for me and Twerk, and BoredGamer's YouTube. And type in ! LN. Twitch does not sponsor or endorse any of our giveaways. We do them out of the kindness of our heart.
That's right.
So yeah, and then I think we have one more topic here to touch before we jump into
questions.
Yeah, I mean, we can a little bit. It's just about like the interdiction and quantum travel mechanics that kind of got touched on 10 for the Chairman, where somebody asked, like how you would prevent people. So this has been a kind of hot topic lately because it's what they're working on.
Right.
And they were discussing some things like potentially your shields dropping before you go in Quantum Drive or when you come out. And then I think this one's pretty obvious: a cooldown before you can use it again.
I don't like the idea of shields dropping. I mean, I feel that the shields would protect you in quantum travel from dust particles.
That's what people said in my chat this morning, and I was like, it's a video game though.
Yeah.
So the gameplay has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to bring it up and see if you guys had any suggestions that you thought made sense. They also talked about the gravity well thing, which I don't quite I can't really comprehend just yet because
think of it something with a lot of mass that's small. Think of it as like an electromagnet is the best way I can think of, right? So
yeah, like,
so if you think of like an electromagnet can be magnetic when you turn it on and not magnetic when you turn it off. Now think of if you did that with gravity instead. So you have this thing that's like let's call it an electric black hole. Okay, so you can turn it on when you want to use it, and it sucks everything nearby into you. Like it reproduces the gravity of said a planet like Crusader, but then when you turn it off, it does the complete opposite. So it doesn't do the opposite. It just turns off like it was never there in the first place.
Gotcha.
So that's what I think it's going to be like, and that's what makes the most sense to me. If you were to use some sort of sci-fi tech for a gravity well, it would just be a flick of a switch that you turn it on, flick of a switch to turn it off, and it would just create that. So then it would pull out anybody who's traveling towards that. They wouldn't know until they're there. And it's like, oh, why am I slowing down in the middle of nowhere? And that's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of wanted to bring it up and see if you guys had any suggestions for it, but I don't really see much. I think as long as you're not getting... Here's why they mentioned shields. Like, if your shields are... How about if your shields are down, you can't quantum travel? So if you're getting shot at...
I thought that was the point.
Yeah, I thought that's the point.
I think that's what he mentioned. I think that's what he mentioned, and I might have misunderstood.
I think that's what it is if you are taking damage.
Yeah.
Then, even if your shields are taking damage, then you can't quantum travel. That means that if somebody started to shoot you and they've hit you at least once, you need to have your shields at full, and then you can start to quantum. But if anybody hits you while you're quantuming, it pulls you out of that again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
kind of
that's
like
reasonable.
that.
Yeah,
I think that's reasonable too.
And then, so you won't see
I guess...
people running all the time, because they won't be able to. They can try.
But I don't know. I think we're ready for some questions.
Questions. Woo!
Question time!
Wow.
That's
Someone
a lot,
wants.
that's
Someone
a lot
wants
of
some
excitement.
questions. Yeah, isn't it?
I just had to get it out.
Woo.
All right, our first one's from Weirder Chimp. Hey guys, on one of the Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy, they talked about a planet called Farron 1, which is a very hot type planet that is close to the sun. Also, that whole Farron thing is because it's named Farron. Lots of metals and things like that. Do you think these dangerous planets that might require a special suit or ship should be able to be landed on and explored like other procedural planets that are planned? If so, do you think they will be part of Star Citizen's initial release or later on? For me, I think it would be cool to see different suits for different extreme environments, like caustic environments or caustic acidic environments, or ones that are really hot, or ones that are super ultra cold, or I don't know, other stuff like that. And I also think it would be cool to have specific shields for those things as well.
Yeah.
So shields that protect your ship. I don't think normal shields should be able to, like, maybe it does for a second, but over time it would wear at it and it would just take the shield down and then it would start to damage your ship.
You'd have to have a special kind of shield for that environment.
Yeah, and I to be honest, I don't think that those things would be too difficult to implement. It's not like they would be creating new damage types or implementing damage types that they have and attributing those shields and things to those new damage types. They're with the shields for ships anyways, they don't really have to create a new model. They might have to create a new like what the shield looks like. Maybe it's not blue like we're used to seeing. Maybe it's like a different color, or like it has a pattern on it or something. But I think the technical aspect of doing that isn't as difficult as you would think. Now with the suits, you would have to have different suits and stuff like that, and whatever, and that would be a little bit of work. But that's, if you look at, they're already making the firefighter suit, they're already making all these other suits. So maybe a firefighter suit would be really good in a hot environment, right? Whereas your normal one wouldn't be.
I think we're definitely going to get that type of planet at launch, and I think you're definitely going to be able to land on them. And I think that you're going to need possibly special gear, special shields, special environment suits. You're going to have to be careful where you land. There might be like jets of magma that come out. It might be lakes of lava. There could be hostile wildlife. There could be lots of different hazard environment hazards.
Environmental hazards.
That's the one. Thank you. Thank you for words.
Yeah.
So I think that's all going to be included in the initial release.
Yeah. Did you have anything to add to that, Twerk?
No, other than like I'm trying to think. There's that race where you have to go through
the ice and the
ice and the acid planet.
Yeah.
In I think the Bremen system or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there'll be some sort of armor and definitely suits that will have that thing. I can't imagine that's that difficult to implement. Mm-hmm. Right. So I feel like it would be.
It would add a lot of variety, and it would allow more gameplay for something very minimal to add to it. Like the amount of different gameplay for switching out suits, or what if you can only carry one suit on your ship in this suit room or whatever it's called, and stuff like that. So being able to switch in and out of those would prevent you from going to certain places on one trip, but maybe you have to go all the way back to a planet, land, switch out those suits, then you can go check it out. And it just adds more to gameplay overall.
So I thought, like, with the Pisces, which is the, I believe, the little mini shuttle that's going to be coming with the Carrack. Mm-hmm. So I assumed in my head when they said that was going to be basically multi-use scout ship for planets, so that it would be able to be, in my head, you'd be able to go into multiple atmospheres and planets and be able to do pretty much anything in that. So, like, it would swim.
Yeah, maybe we could see that with the Merlin and the Archimedes and all those smaller ships, right? You can have their shields, maybe not so much for combat, but more for exploration and stuff like that as well.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I was thinking specifically for the Pisces, but that's a good point, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the customization system should allow people to possibly do that, and like the X-85 and stuff. Yeah.
And talking about a ship like Farron 1, that has to be in the game. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can land on it, though.
Don't know. I think you will be able to. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
it's more of a hope.
All of the 100 systems, like those systems will be for their commercial release. That was one of the, I think, 3 or 4 things that were promised. Mm-hmm. All the other stuff is not promised. That is one of the things that is promised, as far as I understand. So that stuff would have to be done for whenever they do decide to call it a commercial release. I mean, we can sit in beta forever. As far as they're concerned, I guess, because it doesn't really matter. But
that doesn't mean that.
No, I mean it could. I don't think that's what'll happen, but that is one of the things that they can have. The 100 systems is, that is what they promise to have for their release. So, but that doesn't mean that Farron 1 is going to be a procedural planet and that you can land on it and all that stuff. We know that there's landing zones. I think
all planets will be procedural. I think all planets will be
procedural. And I think that you will probably be able to land on all planets in some way, or at least attempt to land,
or at least get in their atmosphere.
Yeah.
If they're a planet that's just a gas giant? There's no real landing on them.
Let's bring it back to the Prospector. I mean, those dangerous planets, they've probably got some nice juicy minerals on that no one else is going to be trying to get because dangerous.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for the question, Witter Chimp. Our next one here is from UberNerd, and he asks, do you believe that the reason for choosing the MISC for the single-person miner was because of the development assets, all of the development assets that have been created for the Freelancer, Starfire, and Reliant, and how mature the pipeline would allow them to bring it out more rapidly so they can test the mining mechanic? For me, I don't think that really had a lot to do it. It might have had a little bit, but I think that it just makes sense as a MISC ship in general. I think as a industry workhorse ship, like, and not to be confused with the Drake Caterpillar, but the MISC is like the Caterpillar, like the construction equipment. of the universe, right? They have all the like they're all very career workhorse specific, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it has a lot to do with the assets as well. That it could probably be made quicker.
I don't know. I could only see it being with maybe Drake, but that doesn't really make sense. I don't see it being with any other chip manufacturer.
Yeah, I totally agree. MISC are, for me, they're tech industrial.
Yeah.
They're for people
That's the word I
that
was
have
looking for, industrial.
middle-rate space incomes to be able to go out on their own and start their own businesses.
I could have seen this being an RSI ship as well.
I could have possibly seen it being an RSI ship. But MISC
just makes more sense, I think.
Yeah, it feels more industrious.
Mm-hmm.
Although, so yeah, I think that's what MISC feel like to me. They feel industrious, whereas Drake feel industrial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because especially like the freelancer, you feel like this is my own ship. This is my own business. This is my own life, my own story. And I think MISC have that industrious appeal about them. And the Prospector for me, yeah, it would have had to have been. It would have had to have been MISC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and is.
So there you go. Uber Nerd, thank you for the question. Our next one here is from Yinzer. And he asks us, which of the upcoming ships are each of us most excited about? And why is it the Drake Dragonfly?
We ask this every week. Are we going to have a party?
No. No, I'm going home.
A party post. A party post. Which of the upcoming contract ships am I most excited about?
Yeah.
Mine just came out. I'm really not excited for much. Like I got super excited for the Prospector.
Yeah, so if there was any mining ships that came in between the Prospector and the Orion, you'd be excited about that.
Well, even like a smaller salvage ship, a smaller exploration ship, like I'm kind of sick of seeing things that pew pew.
Yeah.
You know, I guess seeing the Herald come hangar ready would be really cool.
I'm looking forward to the Drake ships and hoping that they have that versatility. I mean, they all kind of do, right? So having that versatility other than just pew pew. But yeah, I mean, the Dragonfly, the Buccaneer are both things that I'm looking forward to.
For me, it's just the only one I'm looking forward to that hasn't come out yet. The new concept ones is the Corvette. I want to see what they do with it.
Also looking forward. I'm gonna go back on that, and also say I'm looking forward to the Tavaran Prowler that's made by Asperia.
Yeah, so if that's going to be a proper cool looking boarding ship, maybe it's at the moment it's so up in the air because we don't even really know what the Tavaran look like.
No.
They might be slightly Egyptian. We don't really know. Possibly. Possibly that as well. Possibly the Prowler.
Wouldn't it be cool if they were if they went with the Egyptian stuff and they were like your classic sci-fi alien ships, they were like sort of like Flight of the Navigator ship style, or like discs and things like that would be kind of interesting.
I think a disc would be really difficult for boarding.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying in general, just like that style. Whether it be Tavaran or somebody else or whatever. Right? If it just sort of harken back to that old school.
I hope they do a race that is a stereotypical.
Do you remember what the Flight of the Navigator ship looks like?
I mean, I do. Yeah, Flight of the Navigator is one of the best films ever made.
Yeah, dude. All those little aliens that you had, the little alien pets, dude.
They've already got the steps for Flight of the Navigator on the Shan Scout.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find a decent picture of one here.
It's like a big pyramid, right?
No. It's here it is over the water. I'll show you here. This is what it looks like. Let's go here. It's kind of hard to see, so if we go this guy, and it had these pyramid steps, and it felt a lot larger on the inside. And it had these little weird creatures and stuff. A little robot and Oh yeah, look at this
Such a
guy.
good film.
It's so good. If you guys haven't seen Flight of the Navigator, definitely
I never
go.
have.
Yeah, definitely watch it. I mean, it's a kids movie for sure.
Okay.
But it's so good.
It's a family movie.
It's a family movie, I guess, is the better way of
It's
putting
Just
it.
short for kids movie.
No, a lot of the original Walt Disney stuff. I say original. A lot of the now older.
Like, think of E.T., right? What E.T. is to kids is what this is to kids.
No, but
Okay.
E.T.'s a family
Yeah.
film, man.
That's what I mean. But that's
it's
what I mean.
cult.
That's what I mean.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take.
Man.
Yeah, definitely check it
I'm
out.
really heated.
I'm
about
ge-
Flight
I'm-
of the Navigator and Walt Disney.
I'm getting.
It's very passionate about this.
Oh,
It's a family film.
But yeah, thank you for asking the
That
question.
kid's got a sweet hat.
He does have a sweet hat. Welcome to the 80s,
Yeah.
bro. Our next question comes from Super Blast. And Super Blast asks, streaming is tougher than it looks, and the mood of the streamer seems to affect the enjoyment and the mood of the audience. Within all the things that you can bring your mood down during the podcast, how do you guys keep yourself in a positive state of mind?
Well,
Sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get shitty and I
sometimes
just
I don't.
leave it. Yeah. The thing for me is, and this changes for different streamers and whatever. I don't like being fake. I don't like showing a facade of someone I'm not. There are a lot of people who do that, and I think that's not necessarily a
That's
bad
gotta weigh
thing.
more on you than anything.
But I think that would make it worse at the end of the day.
yeah,
I
like
think
when you turn the stream off,
When you
you're not
turn the
gonna
stream
feel any
off, it's
better.
going to be a lot worse, and it's really hard to fake that kind of stuff. And I don't want to fake that kind of stuff. I like the connection I have with my audience. I want to be real with them.
I disagree to a certain extent. For some streamers,
Yeah.
they develop a character for stream,
Right.
Yeah.
like a comedian would, like a presenter
Right.
would. They have a more of a on-screen persona, which
Right.
is developed for being a character, and I think that works for some streamers. A lot of streamers and a lot of YouTubers, though, it's great when they're real. I mean, I've realised that with my channel recently. I like talking about my personal issues, my personal troubles and stuff. I like being able to talk about a camera and talking to my subscribers and potential viewers, knowing that I might help someone, knowing that me being real might help someone, knowing that me being real connects with real other people. And I think that's beautiful and amazing. I don't want to develop a character for that, and I can't because I'm really erratic. That's why I don't stream as well, because I'm quite erratic. The podcast is I want to stream,
Yeah.
but I think that I'm worried that I'm going to say something that I don't mean or I'll regret, and I'm worried
Because it's
I'm
live,
gonna-
because you can't edit it after. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And-
you guys have to put up with a lot of stress. You like constantly. You have to entertain people constantly. And when you're doing something like a Star Citizen or a game that you've planned, that you've done everything before, or you decide to change and something doesn't work, that's incredibly stressful because you can't do much to fix situations
To mitigate
while you're on
anything,
stream.
yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's
I don't know. I'm kind of on the same with Saurus. Like,
Mhm.
if I'm not in a good mood, I pop on and I try to share with people why I'm not in a good mood and why I'm feeling the way I am, and let's talk about it and stuff like that. Like, here's my big thing about streaming in particular is when you decide to turn on a stream and be a streamer. You want to be around people that are like-minded as you, right? So if you're going to be around people that are like-minded as you, you're not going to want to be a persona or be someone that you're not and act like a thing that isn't you, because then you're going to surround yourself with people that aren't like you. So for me personally, I try to act the way that I would act when I met you in person. As best I can, because then those people are going to be the people that are around me, and those are the people that are going to surround themselves with me are those kind of people. So, basically, I've surrounded myself with people that tell penis jokes and troll and spam.
no, but I can honestly say that, like, when myself and Twerk hung out at PAX, he was it was the same. You know, it wasn't like, I'm not naming names, but there were people that we ran into that it was like this is not the person I know, and it felt weird. So for me, it's just I've always been about that. I just want to be real with everybody. I don't feel like I have anything to hide. And I would much rather be on that level with people where I can share that stuff with you guys. And otherwise, it would be, you know, sometimes there's been times where I've come on and I've been in a shitty mood, but the channel's it's turned around, right? And sometimes I've come on in a great mood and it's something's happened and whatever, you know, and I've been, you know, and whatever. If I would have been doing it as a persona or something like that, you know, that means that I would have had to come in and do that whole stream as everything is okay, and then deal with it later. Or if I don't think I will be able to do that persona, I just have to cancel the stream. Like I couldn't do both. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So this way, it allows me to do this. I mean, I love doing streaming. Don't get me wrong. No matter how pissed off you ever see me, or how angry I get, or whatever, because I get into arguments with people, or I get upset about things, or whatever. I'm human. I love streaming. The reason I do this is because I love doing it. I could go and get back into web development, graphic design, and make a shit ton more money than what I'm doing this. But I love this so much, and with the good comes the bad, and even the bad stuff I enjoy doing. So it's that's sort of where it comes for me. It's not always being able to keep ourselves in a positive state of mind. I mean, we do our best to what we can. We try to look forward to stuff. We try to hype ourselves while not overhyping ourselves, which can also be very difficult. You know, trying, like, for me, like, new things that I work on for
Steve. Woo! Sorry.
that I work on the
brother.
channel, or that I have new to show to people, that always gets me excited, and that's one of the things that I try to do. Anything that I can add to the channel or make new or get excited about, those things help out quite a bit.
Yeah, and for me, I like what I've been doing. Like, I've actually been quite kind of bummed out lately, actually. And you know what? Like, usually there's times where you know why you're bummed out. I can't really put a peg on it lately. And what I've been doing is kind of what I know makes me happy is having a discussion with the chat and talking to the people who, like I said, I've surrounded myself with people that I feel like are like-minded as me. So we sit there and we just talk about things. And like I said, the most interesting thing that I talked about today was about toilet paper, but it was funny and it was fun and it brought my mood up. I was exhausted. I worked all night.
Some of our best streams have been the download streams, right? The 12-hour download streams, just chilling and talking to people. You know, but at the same time, a lot of things that get repetitive and get stressful and they compound. It's not just one thing. It's other things that compound. It's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. There's so much of that you guys don't know what's going on. That you probably won't ever know. But it all compounds and in one direction or the other or whatever. So, but yeah, great question. Thank you for asking. Our next question is from Woogen, asking, with persistence, will we be able to capture other players' ships and keep them until it resets? I don't know if that's...
What was it? I didn't...
Will we be able... When we capture someone else's ship, do we keep it until it resets? That's a really good question.
We keep that shit, I would think.
I don't think in the first thing.
No, so I think that there's going to be an outlaw area that you can sell the ships to get Alpha UEC. That would be my expectation. Although we don't know. Because
that'll be a thing that we can see.
So if you steal someone's ship, you're not going to be able to go back to Port Olisar in it. You've stolen someone's ship. And it's going to have like IDs on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to see how they implement that, because that's going to come along with boarding. That's going to come along with outlaw stuff. That's going to come along with the outlaw spawn areas. It's an interesting question, though.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll wait and see, I guess, is the best way to sort of answer that. I wish we could answer that more better. More better. Just a reminder, guys, we do have that Aurora LN standalone ship, exclamation point LN. Make sure you're following myself and Twerk on Twitch and BoredGamer on the YouTubes. Our next question comes from ZodaStream. Explain Casabla outlet to me, please. Will there be more clothing options? Is that what's going to be considered persistent in 2.4? Yes. Casabla outlet is...
That should be one of the things.
Yeah, Casabla outlet is a clothing store where you'll be able to purchase different clothes. I don't know what the interface is going to be like to switch your clothes and what you look like.
Well, one thing that they mentioned was there'll be like a try-on camera or something like that in the last ATV. I think.
Similar to how we have the armor thing in the hangar, maybe.
Yeah, and not just your armor, but clothes too. I think there'll be a try-on camera so you can see what it looks like.
But I mean, similar to that, what that is.
Yeah, but I guess what Casaba Outlet is it's a discount clothing store. So you're not going to get you're not going to be buying Armani suits there. There's probably going to be like t-shirts.
You're going to get your Arena Commander shirts from there.
Yeah, you're gonna get like tees there and stuff. So that's what it is in a literal sense.
Yeah. Well, it's in a blue collar place, right?
Yeah. And will there be more clothing options? Yes, but
100%.
At different landing zones, most likely not at ArcCorp.
There'll be different styles and stuff like that.
At like Terra and places like that. The styles will be based on the planet that you're at.
Well, I think more than that. I mean, they're going to be based on the planet, but I also think there are individual clothing manufacturers that have their own style guides.
Yeah.
That you'll see clear differences when you're shopping in those shops and from the different product lines. And I think that's really interesting because who's designed the clothing? Is it animation character artists?
Right?
So are they fashion designers IRL at all?
No.
Because it's an interesting thing because they're designing fashion clothing for the future in a game.
Yeah.
I think it's a
and it might actually be like future fashion, you never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. I love the way that people come up with odd styles and their reasons for doing that. And I'm hoping that after we see the first iteration of Casaba Outlet, we get a RTV special subscriber thing with them, or that they do a 10 for the devs or 10 for the artists with them, and they explain more their influences and why they've designed it like this, because they're not fashion professionals, they're art professionals, and it's a totally different discipline. I'm really interested
to see what their take on it is.
I mean, because there's obviously going to be loads of different influences, and I'm not a massive arty person.
I'm curious to know what things they think will be timeless.
Okay.
Right, like what survived 1,000 years? Okay, what do we wear now that has been around?
Velcro.
Well, what do we wear now that's been around for 1,000 years? Right, what do we consider timeless? That is nothing.
Leather.
Shoes, just the idea of shoes, the idea of clothes. I don't think. I'm
thinking more.
I'm thinking the style, like you think a tuxedo is timeless and classic, or a good double-breasted suit is timeless and classic, you know. And you could take someone out of the '60s and out of someone now, and it's gonna be very similar. But in terms of like 1,000 years ago, there's nothing. There's nothing. Right, like you look back, even sooner than that. You look at the Victorian era and stuff like that. You have sort of everybody's in suits, but these elegant, crazy dresses with the big, swooping butts and everything. I don't know, just crazy.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah,
but it'll be interesting to see what they consider timeless. Are jeans timeless? They have been for the past 100 years, maybe. But will they continue to be? Who knows? Our next question is from Super Blast again, asking, Should the pirate side of the verse mirror the UEE side with its own systems, worlds, cities, security, economy, etc., to make things fair for those players, or should they be made to rough it without the support of a system made for them? I think we already know that the systems are coming for them. We know that we have our own cities, we have our own planets, we have our own systems. We have a way to we have our own vendors and stuff like that. I think it'll be a harder way of playing, but I don't think it's going to be impossible. I don't think it's going to be like we still have a support system and everything. I mean, we'll still have our own rules. We'll still have our own security and stuff like that for the play. You need that. You need that. But it won't be the same as the UEE. It'll be a lot more lax for a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be more reputation based in general. So rather than technically being an outlaw, you'd just be an outlaw of the UEE or outlaw of a particular faction of the band
or organizations or whatever.
So you technically could be an outlaw to all of them if you were enough of a dick.
Yeah, I'm sure you could be just an outlaw to everybody and fuck you. I'm gonna go live my own asteroid.
That would be hard.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's worth a YouTube video, isn't it? Trying to get your reputation down to 0 with everyone, so they hate you.
Moving in the Van Duel, man. Moving with Van Duel.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, Dave.
I'm telling you. He's in deep thought.
Who, me? I just zoned out. Like I said, I'm really tired. I was
talking about bored, but Twerk's zoning out. Okay.
I zoned out so bad that I zoned out that, yeah.
See, whatever I had is catching, clearly, Twerk. You know, when because I used to zone out all the fucking time during the podcast at the end. The last couple of questions, and Twerk knew. Twerk would snicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that he wasn't paying attention.
You'd be like, yeah, so what do you think, Bored? Yeah, so, yeah, yeah, maybe? No. All right.
Yep.
Next question is from Yinzer, and he asked, do you think if clothing or ships or whatever you buy, it's earned with Alpha UEC, and then Alpha UEC gets wiped, do you think that the things that you've earned it with get wiped as well? Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Because then what people would do if that didn't happen was they would know that a patch is coming, dump all their Alpha UEC into something else, and then when it wipes, then they just sell all that stuff to get that UEC again. So there's no point in the wipe. It would be too easy to do that. And yeah, plus it would be good because everybody would have to go out and earn it again. And it would give a reason. It's that goal to go and earn stuff. So it would be good to get people playing as well. Our second to last question here from IDD KFA. He asks, do you guys think mining tractor beams could be calibrated to only pick up specific materials? Probably. For it to be able to tell what, like, so for example, if you're just trying to mine gold and you don't want to pick up any rocks, that it just picks up the gold. I think that's reasonable. Based on its weight or based on its density or whatever, it could figure that out.
I think you might be able to do that through the filtration systems and stuff. I think one of the job roles on the Orion was basically to check the materials as they're coming in and choose.
Right, but what about where I'm talking about the smaller ship with the mining tractor beams and everything?
Planets because of weight.
Well, I think there's a proper filtration system which you can probably set. But it might take longer to filter the materials through and stuff like that. There might be some penalties for just taking one resource or all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what I'd expect.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it as just them, the tractor being able to only attract a certain type of material.
I think that would be too easy game, though.
No, really, you're still looking for gas pockets. You're still looking out for pirates and Van Duel and everything else as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just like, if you look at, I guess, mining in WoW or something, you know what it is just by the color. And you don't get the rock. Well, I guess you do get some rocks and stuff with it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see, but that's total speculation on our end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And our last question here goes to Twerk17, apparently.
Shit.
From Jamie, and it's not a toilet paper question. How do you think ship ramming, crashing into each other should work in the final game? This is all you, Twerk.
Oh fuck. I hate the way it is now, because it's just annoying. I think how it will work in the future game is that ship health and armor will be very different from the way it is now, and I think you're going to bounce off people and do damage, and not. I don't think we're going to get a lot of these just straight up boom, you're dead situations.
You also have to remember too, with the persistence coming in, people aren't going to want to
Yeah.
be smashing into other people's ships because it's going to kill them.
No,
as
you're going to
well.
want to be a lot more careful, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to cost you money to repair your ship. It's not just going to be respawning. So I think that's actually a really good point, is that people are going to be more careful. I think people aren't going to be very careful in the beginning, and it's going to get really frustrating, but they're going to have to learn, right? We're all going to have to learn.
So, I mean, I'd be happier with the ramming, and I'm not gonna take away your thunder, Twat, because it is your question.
It's my question. Stop answering my question.
But I'd be happier if that when you ram a ship, that one ship, it works out which ship's the winner, and then the other ship takes the damage. Basically.
Oh, you both. So one doesn't take damage.
No,
That's
I
Well,
don't.
no, they both take damage.
Okay.
But so so my ship, my Aurora hits the wing of a 325A, say, and I hit it at a right angle. That my ship takes very little damage, but I rip the wing off the 325A, but the 325A isn't instantly destroyed. It just goes smash. I've smashed this part of the ship.
Yeah.
The problem that we have at the moment is that you.
Well, the
hit
problem with that
part
is the
of
wing
325A
would
and they
go
die.
through your front end of your ship,
Yeah.
and you would probably die. But I still think that, I think it should just be more towards people have to be safer, and penalty for those that are trying to do it on purpose. Like, for them to do it on purpose, like, everybody should want to avoid crashing, period.
Yeah.
The end. So you should penalize those people that crash, whether it be on accident or on purpose. And I think it should be heavy, very heavily.
Like we're not talking about clothing and weapons, like FPS weapons here. We're talking about maybe, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of alpha UEC. Losing your ship might cost a lot.
Like being a lot.
I don't know.
And
we don't know what things are going to cost, but
it's
I
the
would
best
think
way
losing
to.
a ship is going to hurt your.
It's the
fucking
best way to
feelings.
learn.
I hope it does.
Yeah, I hope it hurts your feelings. I really do.
Like, not okay. Here we can discuss that real quick. That's kind of where this goes is, with the Alpha UEC implementation and having to potentially buy new ships when you lose your ship, is like, what are they going to price these things at? I think that is so important to price it where losing your ship fucking hurts.
Yeah.
That is so important for it to be that way. It's gotta hurt. Otherwise, if you don't feel the pain,
you
it's
need to
not
have
worth-
weight. You need to have weight
True.
behind it. Otherwise, people will just continue to.
Yeah.
But the reward needs to be there as well. It needs to be risk reward.
Well, I think they will drop. You'll drop the
Reward
weapons
for
or
what? Though?
things.
Reward for smashing into
Killing the
people?
other. For killing the other.
For
player.
killing the other person, yeah. Picking up their loot, being able to salvage them. That's your reward.
And
right?
being able to shit talk them in the chat.
Shit talk them and being able to collect them up for slavery. Let's not forget there's slavery in the chat. You're all going to be my slaves.
So I was thinking more risk, as in you'll put in situations where there's more of a reward, but you're more likely to crash. So in tight little areas or
Well,
dangerous
like when you're
spots.
in like tight asteroid areas, or when you're trying to like hide your ship instead of landing on the landing pad, right? You're trying to, like at Korea, where I always try and go in the top in the spindles and hide up there, and usually it keeps my ship up there. Or try and hide your ship in little areas. It's more dangerous to do it that way, but it's a lot harder to find it, and that's what. Yeah, if you crash, then it's your own fault. Like it should teach people how to fly their ships better.
Mm-hmm.
And put more thought into their decisions.
fly your ships better, guys. Put
Yeah.
some more thought into your decisions.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
raffle's over. It's been closed right now. We have 229 people in.
Oh, shit.
So this is what we're gonna do. We are going to fuck it. Let's draw it now. So let's draw it now, and then we'll go into what we're up to this week. And so the winner, can I get a drum roll? Is Death Cometh. Death Cometh.
That's a bad omen.
That is a bad omen.
I think we're gonna have to re-roll. Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro. No, you have
don't mean that.
60 seconds in chat to respond. I need to see something. Please and thank you. Otherwise, we will re-roll.
Give him a minute. Give him a minute. Give him a minute.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, come on, bro. You've gotta get
He's
your
30
prize.
seconds in.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I love re-rolling, but I haven't entered.
Whoa, you didn't actually enter?
Yeah, I know. I don't know
know.
what's wrong with me.
I didn't enter either.
I didn't either. Weird.
Yeah.
I'm
We
so
have-
sorry, bro.
Wow, we have 5 seconds left.
What, did you just say it?
No, he hasn't said anything.
Oh,
We're re-rolling. Zeus
So
Anoxia.
sorry, bro.
nice.
Really?
Zeus Anoxia.
Hashtag rigged.
Hashtag rigged. Hashtag rigged.
The whole chat just went.
Still need him to say
Oh no,
something.
Zeus is one of my mods.
Wow.
He's still, I think he's about.
There we go. He says, holy fuck. Alright, so you know what to do. Send that message to Twerk. He'll send you all that stuff that you need to do. And once again, thanks for Twerk for putting that up. And congratulations to Zeus and Oxia. And better luck next time, everybody who entered. Board game. Hang on, alien technology is going on in my ear. Twerk, what are you up to this week?
This week, not much. The usual, waiting for the 2.4s. I think I'm gonna play some Dreadnought like now, and then play Dreadnought tomorrow. I'm giving away a Prospector on Saturday the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys haven't followed the stream, twitch.tv/twerk17. Follow me on Twitter for any updates on that stuff. And YouTube, both of them are at Twerk17 Gaming. And yeah, I mean, that's what I got going on this week. Playing some other games, you know, some Elite Dangerous on Monday and all that. So I'm kind of pumped for the coming months, man.
Right
There's
on.
gonna be
Yeah,
so
I'm
much
ready
good
for
stuff.
some big drops. Big drops.
Stellaris in like a week and a half. By the way, if anyone's
Escape from
interested in
Tarkov.
Stellaris, yeah, but if anyone's interested in Stellaris, you have the ability to do a big multiplayer game. One of the things I want to do is have a big multiplayer game with the viewers and everything, and you don't actually have to be there on my stream at all times. Like if you can make it, you can make it on a day that you can't. It's not that big of a deal because the AI will just play as your race.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested, just throw me a PM on Twitch, and we'll try and organize this thing.
I'm interested in playing Twerk if you have me.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let's do it.
I like Stellaris. It looks absolutely great.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it for sure.
And Board Gamer, what are you up to?
So very similarly to Twerk, I'm literally just bought a Founders Pack for Dreadnought now. Actually, you know what? Well, that's a lie. I was in the process of buying, and I've realised I've just been sent a code for one. So I'm going to use that code to not buy
For what?
something for Dreadnought.
Oh,
So
nice.
So I've got
Congrats,
closed
bro.
beta access and stuff. Thank you. So I'm playing a bit of Dreadnought. Obviously, I'll be on the Vive. I'm going to play some Eve Gunjack. I'm going to be getting Star Citizen to work on the Vive because I now have a program that will do it. So I'll be doing stuff like that. I'll be doing some stuff with Super Geekbox. They're one of those other geeky box provider things. I'll be looking at them at some point. Lots of Star Citizen stuff. Obviously, be doing my news. I've got the monthly report to still get up because I really dropped the ball with that because I'm lazy. But yeah, lots of. I've as soon as 2.4 comes out, I'm going to be redoing my entire ship buyer's guide. So if that's on the PTU tomorrow, I'm going to start doing the ship buyer's guide again tomorrow. So I'm going to literally redo every ship and talk about the spirit of the ship, talk about the meta of the ship, talk about all the balance and everything. I understand that stuff will be changed, but I can talk about it in relative terms and if it's worth buying.
You can always redo it again later on.
Yeah. But I'll make sure it's as timeless as possible by making the spirit and how it compares to other ships and what its role and who it suits and why it suits them. So I'll be talking a lot about that, so that will kind of be timeless. I just need to update all of that because there's been so many changes that some of the stuff still isn't relevant, and obviously the prices have changed.
Yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, other than that, I'm going to be chilling out, trying to be happier. I'm a lot happier in myself at the moment. Thank you so much for all the kind messages. Thank you so much for all the great just Twitter messages, YouTube messages, people backing on Patreon and stuff just to be nice. Thank you. I mean, it is really appreciated. The community for Star Citizen, my community, Twerks, and sources, everyone that's gotten behind and talked to me and sent me messages and even just watching my videos, it's really helped. It's made me feel nice and better about myself. So thank you so much. It's really appreciated, genuinely. What have you been up to, Saurus, before I make everyone weep, or at least myself?
Well, today, right after this, we're going to be playing some Star Citizen. I was going to ask if you guys wanted to join me, but you guys are going to be playing some Dreadnought.
Well, I don't even know if that's happening.
I'm going to be going to bed in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
So tonight, I'll be playing some Star Citizen, maybe doing some art stuff, whatever. Tomorrow, on Thursdays, I do my VR stuff. So that's sort of a big change. So we do this mixed reality stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to be on this channel or if this channel is going to host it or how we're going to do it yet. We haven't really decided yet. But I do that every Thursday, and that's with a bunch of developers of the Vive games and whatever. And then Friday, I'm doing a Fireball Friday with Doc Pasty. So we're going to get drunk. That'll be in our evening stream. And yeah, just sort of waiting for stuff to come out and trying to get as many people into the game, playing with us as possible. So if you don't have Vandal Swarm, or you want to join us in some FPS stuff and just do some free-for-all shooting and stuff like that, feel free to join us. We'll be live right after this. So thank you, everybody, for coming by. Once again, you can find Twerk at Twerk17 Gaming on Twitter and Twerk17 on Twitch. BoredGamer UK on everything, and myself, WTFOSaurus, on Twitch and Twitter. If you want to learn more about my VR channel, !VR in chat. And I will see you guys in literally 2 minutes. So I'm going to be shutting down, and then I'm going to start right back up.
Literally.
So,
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Literally, you're probably still going to even hear these guys when I come back. So yeah, we will be right back momentarily.